Well, well. Big ups, everybody. Welcome back to another stream. It's your boy Tarek, and it's a rough one tonight, but we're back, and it's Talk Back Tuesday. This is the reason why we have this show. It's an opportunity for you to come on and express how it is that you're feeling, how this match made you feel, all the things that are going on. Certainly appreciate everyone that's in the chat. I see some comments already. Big ups to each and every one of you. Thank you for just stopping back by, hanging out with your boy one more time. There's a lot of places you could be, a lot of things you could be doing. Yeah, kicking it here with me. So I appreciate that. As always, on Talkback Tuesday, there is a link in the chat. It is at the top. It should be a pinned message. It is a link that if you want to come on and not just put your comments in the chat, but you want to come on camera, on stream, whether camera or just a mic, whatever, but you want to let your voice be heard, this is your chance to come on. Tell me how Pep got it right, Pep got it wrong, how the players, this, that, and the other. This is your chance to do that. So look forward to you jumping on with me and all the comments in the chat, all of the things. Appreciate it very much. Um, yeah. Where do you start? Big ups to Adam. Got comments in the chat, so I want to make sure I call those out. Big ups to you, Adam. Appreciate you being here. Number 26. Get out of my club. Absolutely trash tonight. This loss tonight is on Pep. Let's get into it. Big ups for the comments. Again, if you're here, just drop a comment. Let me know you're here. Let me know who you are, where you're getting at me from, all the things. But I guess we've got to start here with this comment by Adam. This loss tonight is on Pep. So I got to be, let me put this on the record up front. Tonight, today is normally my day to work from home. So on UCL nights, I typically get a chance to have my tablet right here because this is where I work at as well. So I have my tablet here. I can have the game on while I'm doing whatever it is that I have to do for work. Unfortunately, today required me to go in the office, so I was trying to steal glimpses when I could. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole match or even the bulk of the match. Quite honestly, it was a lot of relying on um, commentary or things of that nature. So I haven't seen it. I'll go back and watch it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth watching. But what I did see right from the very beginning, and again, this is where Adam is saying that the loss tonight is on Pep, I'm pretty sure, is when the lineup comes out. And you immediately have strong opinions on the lineup. Um, it was a very rotated lineup, one that I didn't think Pep had in him. In previous matches when we've come in and it's been like, oh, we don't really need to get a win, or we can rotate the squad, we can get some players in that maybe haven't played a lot. So you expect Pep to make some changes. You expect Pep to rotate, and what does he do? He comes out with a more of a strong lineup. So tonight, I had no reason to expect that Pep was going to come out with the lineup that he did, but it was very rotated compared to what we've been playing. I believe there's 10 changes compared to the lineups we've been running out recently. And so we will talk about that here in a minute. Snoopy says Savio was poor, no getting away from that. Don't know how to build him back up, but hopefully he can pull himself out of this slump. Adam said it earlier. He's got strong opinions. Get him out of my club. I don't know if I go that far. That feels very much like the whole Daku conversation from last season, and we kind of saw that maybe we overstepped or we went too soon on that. I do, but I agree. Again, looking at the numbers, looking at what I saw in the clips and the replays and all the things, Sabio was poor. So I have no reason to to try to argue that point. I'm not going to try to make his his performance out to be better than it was. Pep clearly had good intentions, but it was too much rotation, to be honest. So when I first saw that lineup, my first thought was,
You serious?
well, that was supposed to say, "Are you serious?" At the end. I'm again trying to get used to this new or this versus StreamYard. It's supposed to play all the way through, but at the end, it's supposed to say, "Wait, are you serious?" Because that's why I thought about when I saw the lineup. It's, "Are you serious? Is this really? Is this a real thing?" Because I just didn't believe that Pep would do this much rotation. So let me see if I can pull this up. And well, starting from the back, we had James Trafford in goal. We had from right to left, we had Kuzanov, right back, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Ryan Aït-Nouri at left back. In the two holders, kind of playing a 4-2-3-1. So the two holders are Rico Lewis and Nico Gonzalez. And then right to left in the three behind the striker is Oscar Bob on the right, Reinders playing through the middle, and Savino or Savio out on the left, and then Marmouche at the top. So that is how FOTMob has it. So if you watched the whole match and it looked like they lined up differently, feel free to let me know that. But according to FOTMob, that's kind of how they lined up. And so if you think about who we typically have, this is a fully changed back. Well, quite honestly, it's the whole lineup has changed with the exception of Gonzalez, right? With exception of Nico G. I was gonna say, it's a fully changed back four, but that would be minimizing all the rest of the changes that Pep made. So let's ask the question: why? Why did Pep make so many changes? Especially when he hasn't made these changes in matches gone before. He's had plenty of opportunity to make changes and he hasn't done it. So why make those changes today? I get that we need to rotate some players. Some players need to get a rest, all of the above. But if you think about who's playing the most matches, Nico G's got to be in that conversation, right? And again, I get we really don't have someone that can come in and play in that six role, but you didn't rotate him. We've been clamoring as a fan base, not you individually, maybe not me, but as a fan base, we've been clamoring for Kuzanov to get into the match and to get games. We saw him go out in the international break with a red card. So people wanted to see him play. You put him out at right back as opposed to say right center back. Played John Stones at right center back. Again, someone who is done pretty well. We know his issue is always just trying to stay healthy. So John Stones got to start at right center back, and he was the captain on the night. Ake, again, feeling like he's a little bit past his best at this point. A lot of conversation around Nathan Ake about maybe he needs to be looking for a new opportunity, not playing, maybe impacting his ability or his chances at um, the Dutch national team, Netherlands national team. I don't know that he did himself any favors tonight. Aït-Nouri, I've been saying that Ryan Aït-Nouri and Omar Marmouche, both of whom are going to be going to AFCON here next month. I've been asking the question on this show and others: do you spend the time to trying to get those two in particular back up to speed, or because you know they're going to be out, do you run out who we've been running out and let these guys get their play themselves into form with their national team as opposed to trying to play themselves into form with us? I don't know what Pep was doing in this lineup other than saying, of course, people need rotation. there's an opportunity for people to try and prove or show that they belong, show that they deserve extra minutes. Quite honestly, you would think this Leverkusen team would be able to be gotten at, but we didn't see it today. It's a big question marks. More questions being asked than there were answers provided today. Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis, not getting a lot of minutes. And so, again, this is your opportunity. You got to take those opportunities when they come, because there's no guarantees they're ever going to come back again. What did they do? Did they take their chances? Savinho, we know how that happened in the summer. We know all the conversation that's been going on around him. You see how strong the opinions are when it comes to him. You got, Adam basically wants him out of the club, wants him gone. Can't knock Adams for his opinion. It's his opinion. And quite honestly, if Savinho and others don't want to hear that kind of a conversation, then I'm going to need them to be better. You just got to be better on the night. Anyway, Snoopy said Koeman basically said Ake will be in the World Cup team because of his leadership, but he looks finished at the top level. Yeah, that's tough. And I wanted to see Ake because I wanted Josko rested. I left this game thinking we have to spam him. So I was on with LB Saturday. I think I was on with LB on Saturday. And we talked about rotating the squad. We talked about the need to get other players opportunities and chances. And most importantly, we talked about the need for, in this case, Josko Gvardiol to get a rest. We feel like he said in his interview that he's been playing with knee pain, trying to play through that. So the question was, hey, we should rest him. And I asked the question, oh, well, can you rest him? Because in my opinion, if Pep wants to play a left-footed center back on the left side, who are you going to play there? Because I didn't think Ake still, to Snoopy's point, I don't know that I thought he still has it at this level. So gave him a rest. And again, not to single out any one player, because again, I didn't get a chance to fully watch the match and to digest everything that went on. So I'm not going to call any one specific player out. But again, as a collective, this group didn't take their chances. And even with that said, if I look at just simply at the numbers, and again, someone else can tell me how the game actually, the flow of the game and how it felt. If I look at the numbers, we expected goals 1.84 for us, 0.55 for them. So we had the better chances. We had 3 big chances. They only had 1. We had 19 total shots to their 7. Just didn't get it done. Big up, Keely. Appreciate you as always jumping in, hanging out with me. Always welcome. Always show up. So I appreciate you. Tough watch. That's so again, it's one of those things where when it's like, well, I should go back and watch it. Maybe I don't want to, but it's frustrating. The thing about this match that I think is frustrating is because for me, I think the thing that frustrates me the most is we just lost, and coming off the back of the loss, I expected, or I hoped at least, that we would. Why is it not adding you to the scene, Martin? Martin is here. Oh, you know what? Let me change this setting because it's not showing. I can hear you, Martin, but it didn't add you to the scene just because you're only on audio only. But give me a second to click this button here. It should change and bring you on. There you go. What's up, Martin?
Evening. How are you?
I'm not doing that great. I'm not doing that great.
Something happened.
No, I don't know if anything happened. I don't know if anybody showed up or not. I think they just decided we weren't playing tonight. Did you were you able to make it to the game or no?
No, I missed it tonight.
Okay.
So probably thankfully.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I was telling them that I had to work, and normally I work from home, so I can normally watch these matches while I work. And unfortunately, they called me into the office. I had to go in for interviews and stuff, whatever. But it feels like maybe I'm glad I didn't get to watch it because it would have just drove me batty. It would have made me upset.
Yeah, it was poor. Very, very poor all round.
So let me ask you this question, Martin, because again, I think and Keely saying was disappointing. Pep rotated, and the players who have been desperate for minutes weren't able to take their chances. It's unfortunate. We keep going. So when you saw the lineup, when you first saw the lineup, what was your initial thought?
I wasn't surprised, but that was, I think, as you know, I'd messaged in our little group chat over something I'd got sort of mid-afternoon to late afternoon. So I wasn't surprised at the 11. I was a bit surprised at the amount of changes. Wasn't surprised at some of the changes.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense. Now, some people, I can go into it if you want me to, or I can save it. It's up to you.
Go for it. Go for it. I don't want to say anything that you've revealed to us in confidence. So whatever you feel comfortable saying, I'll let you say it.
Yeah. There was, as you know, a couple of weeks back, Jack Garn had mentioned something about a few players were starting to make. Do we use the word fuss? Is fuss the right word? They're starting to have some concerns on playing time moving forward. And obviously we know if you're going to make moves in January, this is kind of the time when you do start negotiating. You know, when you start making your moves, your inquiries, etc. And as you know, we've got to sell before we can buy right now. So I think this is from Viana, by the way. Viana wants to make moves in Jan. Some, and I don't mean Galacticos, but I don't mean the
project player.
What's the word? The project players. Thank you. That was the word. I'm talking like your Bernardo Silva, your like the steady eddies that are ready to come into the first team. So, for example, like your Semenyos. It's not quite a Galactico, but he's a proven on-form player that would improve the team. So they're now wanting to get things into motion. There's a few players that I've put question marks on the future. So I think tonight was, all right, you've moaned, you bitched, you complained. This is your chance.
So I understand that, right? And
it backfired.
Well,
massively backfired.
This is my issue because again, I think that you could have let some of those players play, but you didn't have to put them all in at once. And I think that was the part that was frustrating from Pep's perspective. Again, people have to play and we have to rotate the squad, but did we have to do it all in one fell swoop? And it just felt like that was managerial. What's the word I want to? It's like it's an injustice, and it's like Pep.
Sentimental.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just it was frustrating. Again, I couldn't watch it, so I see the lineup, and I'm like, wow, what is really going on here? Because it's just so much change. And I think the thing that conditioned me to think that way is because in other matches, when we've all collectively as a fan base thought, oh, okay, Pep can rotate. We can really rotate the squad this match, whatever. He never does. He'll come out with maybe one or two, maybe two or three changes, but it's never one fell swoop. And so for him to do it tonight felt like, it's like really what's really going on.
When with the next 3 games coming up, because I mean for me, and I'm not making an excuse.
Real quick, you talking about the next 3 Champions League matches?
No, the
or
next
just
three Premier League next
okay,
week,
okay.
because you've got 3 games in 7 days. We play Leeds United, Fulham away, Sunderland at home. I would call them must-wins if you want to remain in this title race. We
Okay,
need
fair,
9 out of
fair.
9.
Yep.
Honestly, deep down, would you give them Bob, Rico, Ake, Trafford any opportunity in those games? Because I wouldn't do.
No, so I would not have played Trafford in any of those matches, but I would have played him probably in the EFL Cup match that's in the middle of December. As far as Bob
Oh no, I'm
and
just talking next week. Just
oh yeah,
just the
yeah.
next 7
So
days.
no, I probably would not have played Trafford for sure. You said Oscar Bob. I don't know if I would. It's tough because he hasn't been good when he's been out there, but I know I believe, I don't even know. I believe, I think, I hope, I pray he's got that ability in him. But there's no reason for me to say that I know. I've only seen him excel really in a preseason, and he was lights out. But that's the only time I've seen him excel in a consistent, stretch of games. We
Rico?
saw Rico. Again, it's hard to say where he's going to play because is he playing in
Yep.
midfield? He probably can't play in the midfield against Sunderland because we know they're pretty robust. They're going to lose a couple players, but it feels hard to play him in that one. It's
And then Ake.
Leeds maybe.
Right now,
yeah.
I'm probably not changing Gavardiol or Diaz out.
Well, I said that about Gavardiol on LB stream on Saturday, and everybody seemed to think, oh, well, we can just bring John Stones in and we don't have to go to Ake. Because in my opinion, I know Pep seems to have a preference for a left-footed center back on the left side, paired with a right-footed center back on the right side.
Well, John
Now,
Stones has played a lot of Champions League. If you look at the Champions
yeah.
League, that's when Stones generally plays. He played against Dortmund, I believe. And didn't he play against somebody else in the Champions League? I think Stones' appearances have mainly been in the Champions League. So the Stone ones, I think I'm just looking at them 4 because by the next 3 games, you're in the middle of December. And for me, if you're going to make moves in January, that's your cut-off point. So you go yes or no. And the thing with Oscar Bob and Rico, it was just something I looked at earlier. Them 2 seem to be the swapsies on who sits at home on match days at the minute. If you notice, Rico was the one the week before, then Oscar Bob's done it. And then them 2 were the first 2 dragged at half time as well.
Yeah.
So I honestly believe those are. Jack Gore mentioned 3 players, didn't I? There was Ake. My understanding is, and it may be wrong, I've been told the other 2 are Rico and Oscar Bob, who are umming and ahhing about their future at the club at the minute, just to a lack of game time because they want to play, which is understandable. I get it.
Sure.
So,
and Rico just recently signed a new contract.
Yeah, because I will get into the absolute crap show that was tonight. Trust me. I think Pep's gambled too much, as in this is the game I can get away with it.
Do you think it was a little bit of a disrespect for Leverkusen?
Yes.
Just like not thinking they had anything to offer, and so it's like I can rotate this heavily 100%, against this team.
Yeah. I also believe. I mean, and let's be honest, that 11 should have been good enough to perform better than it did.
Sure. I mean, if you look at the names at the names on a piece of paper, then yeah, you're right. That should have been strong enough to go out there and, because again, you're playing for Manchester City. We don't have scrubs on our team. So they should have been good enough, but that's on paper. Form says that most of those players haven't been good enough or haven't played consistently enough to even be on form. Keeley says, spot on, Martin.
I think it's so difficult because if we'd have played Ireland tonight and it'd have played, because remember Rodri's out and between all of us here, I wouldn't expect Rodri till 2026. He's not even on the bench at the minute, by the way, if you noticed. So I honestly believe if Haaland did a play tonight and Foden from the get-go and one of them gets injured, then the opposite happens. You're playing them week in, week out. You know, like the Gavardio one, being played too much. When do you rest him? Because that's the problem with a squad, isn't it? When is the right time to rotate? When is the wrong time to rotate? I know everyone goes always, and I'm one of them. Start your 11, get the game won, then make changes. The problem is your Oscar Bobs, your Ricos, your James Trafford, your Akes don't want to play 25 minutes.
Well,
That's
and
no
you would
good
hope
to them.
You would hope that we could, but they ended up only playing 45 because they just weren't good enough. Spartacus,
Exactly.
you asked, could you jump on? Absolutely. You don't have to be on camera. If you want to just jump on, come on. More than welcome.
But mate, it was no excuse. We were poor. And that was my biggest, I can name them. I mean, I thought Omar Mamouche was poor tonight. For someone who's not had many chances, I thought he didn't take his chance. I thought Kushinov, I don't want to wear Nunes and right back anymore. I think Kushinov, but again, he's a young lad. He's going to grow into that position. I think he's going to be a brilliant player. Thought he struggled a bit tonight. Savinho, I'm starting to run out of excuses now. I'm trying to defend the lad, Tariq. You know that more than
That's where I'm
trying
at
to defend the guy. I'm trying. I can't defend him much longer.
Yeah,
I need more out of him. He was poor. But saying that, Pep and Pep's fault for making Trafford is a rabbit in the headlights. He looks so scared at the minute. I don't know.
James
My
Trafford,
other thing
you're talking
is,
about?
he looked scared. And the other thing was, I thought Reinders was. I don't know what Reinders is.
Well, he was playing. It looked, according to FotMob, he was playing as the 10 tonight.
According to me, he was playing in my back garden. I don't. Again, I will give him time because he's a new player. For me, you're going to think this is mad. Reinders has a less of an excuse than Savinho. And you're going to think that's crazy when I say that. One is 20, one is 27, a Dutch international with bags of experience. He should need less time to settle in than a Savinho, a Kushinov, if you know what I mean, an Oscar Bob. He's struggling to adapt to the Premier League right now. Or probably to Manchester City. But what I find weird with Reinders is we've bought a ball-playing, possession-based midfielder and then changed our whole system around to not suit that.
Do you think it's that big of a change, though?
For Reinders, yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think Reinders isn't a quick 1-2-3 passing through the middle midfielder for me.
So he needs the slow build up. And I say slow, but more patient, deliberate build up.
He needs to get his foot on the ball and start laying it left and right and maneuvering the ball, not lump the ball. But saying that, Tariq, we were only one down at half time. We had enough chances, Tariq, for the subs we made to get back in there. So I can't fully blame Pep. Where I do put some of half the blame on the players, because you made them subs at half time. You're only 1-0 down. You're telling me Haaland, because everyone's having to go at Savinho. Which I understand why, because he was poor. But Savinho was not the reason we lost tonight, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Wasn't just Savinho.
Spartacus.
There was 9 or 10 players that were off it tonight, including Pep. It was poor. The lucky thing is we only really need 6 points.
Well,
so
I want to get to that in a minute too,
and the Bowden Glint game to sort it out.
But everybody's already just given up on the Real Madrid match, it sounds like. And again, if we play like we played today or play like we've been playing this week, maybe that's with reason. But my frustration is we had been playing so well before the international break, and we just haven't been able to put it together, haven't been consistently clinical enough
Do you think
to
that
actually
hurt
do
us?
anything. I do think it does. Spartacus, you got Donnarumma Glazer as your subtitle or subtag or whatever. So talk to me about that.
No, that was just a joke for Martin, to
Oh,
be
okay.
honest. But
Oh, okay.
it's because I
It's because
was
his boy
famously.
was awful tonight.
Well, I would expect you to say that about Alan, but Alan's not on here, so.
But to be honest, like I just think today some of these players show that I don't think they are gonna play for City ever again.
Wow, that's pretty strong. I mean, to say this was like their last straw.
I think Ake, for example, I don't think he plays the game for City ever again.
Mm.
If he gets sold in January, probably for the better. If not, I think maybe Pep is probably gonna have completely fallen out of trust with Ake, to be honest, because this was one of the worst performances of a centre back I've seen in a while for City. And I'm even putting that Garcia performance against Leicester, which was appalling.
Wow.
But
No.
I think
That
that was, mate. For the goal, he gets completely demolished, and I think there was another chance where he just doesn't know where the ball is, and the guy doesn't even really do a trick or a skill, just loses the ball. I think I know he didn't help him either. I think I know he.
Put him
Yeah,
on the
he is, but
Garcia level is a bit harsh.
I think he was awful today. I think I know he today was one of the worst performances of a left back I've seen in a while as well. I think I know he was terrible today.
Yeah.
I think didn't like Nico G either today. I think he took way too long on the ball. His passing range wasn't big enough today. He wasn't doing the switches. He was basically playing tiki taka football as the six when he's supposed to be the one switching the play. And it was so he was so off it today that the one that was actually switching the play was Stones. So maybe I don't know. Like I got very deflated at this game today because I saw some players just they looked like they weren't. They gave up at a certain point.
Wow. That's worse than just being, hey, we got beat. But if it feels like the players gave up and the players quit, that's tough. Big up, Scarf Boy. Thanks for jumping on, man.
I disagree with that. Just on that, I disagree with that, Terry. I don't think they gave up. I think some just shown they weren't good enough.
Martin, I think at the end of the day, at the end of the game, 86 minutes, and Savio is the one that has to be running back to put in a tackle as right back because nobody else is willing to give that run, and he's the only one running. It's stemming. Chucky today as well. I think his cameo was atrocious. He felt like he was making the hard choices every time for the sake of doing the hard thing. There were so many times that the easy pass to the wide player was on, and he was trying to do some wonder pass through 15 players and trying to find a player that, even if the pass was right and got to the player, it wasn't really anything that the player could have done because he was surrounded by 5 or 6 different players. So today was bad, man. Today I wasn't angry and I wasn't upset about the Newcastle defeat because I saw some fight at least. Today I was very, very deflated.
Scarf Boy, talk to me.
Yeah, man. I got to be honest. I didn't see the game. I've been working all day. I'm actually still here in the office, but hearing what you guys have said, I don't know if I'm going to watch the replay. It sounds like it was a pot of shit. Man, that's crazy. I saw a lot of halftime subs. What happened? They yanked some of our good guys off at halftime, or?
Did you see the lineup to begin the match? Did you see the starting lineup at all?
Yeah, so actually my first contact with the game today was the Cream Citizens texted me and said, hey, Carabao Cup match. And I was like, oh, it makes sense. The Carabao Cup would be on a Tuesday. And I looked at the lineup and I'm like, yeah, all right, playing the kids, playing all the backups. That totally fits. And I was like, hang on, Tuesday in November, that's probably a Champions League match. Bayer Leverkusen, of course, that's a Champions League match. So, I mean, it looked like a Carabao Cup match until it was on Paramount instead of ESPN. You know, it just amateur hour, really. And especially after the Newcastle game was pretty deflating as well. You guys were saying about, at least at Newcastle, we had some pride, and I felt like that too. Played well despite the fact that we didn't get a result. But if it got worse today, like, man, we're really starting to kind of turn the ship in the wrong direction, I think.
Can I make a shocking statement? And you may agree, you may not.
Let's hear it.
Oscar Bob ain't good enough. And I know Ryjack could be listening, and he's probably beating on his shirt right now, and he's gonna kill me for this.
Look, I just went in the chat in the group thing, and I told him to come on the stream and hit the link. So
is that the notification I've got?
It's probably me responding, yeah, because I saw that they had asked the question, so I just sent it to him. So if he comes on, you're on your own, Mark.
Tariq, he's not ready. He's not Manchester City level.
How do we say that though? How do we jive that with the fact that he's a international player, plays for Norway? Again, now to be fair, his coach at Norway has had some questionable comments about him. So
he's not lighting it up at Norway either at the minute. Do you know what I'm not saying sell. He needs a loan. He should have took that loan option in the summer. And I get you fighting and you will no prove it, but I keep saying it. If you're the guy who is rotating at being left at home, not even in the match day squad anymore, that kind of tells something for me. And then you and Rico are the two that are questioning things, and then you yanked at half time. Sometimes 2 and 2 makes 4, Tariq. And I know it's harsh, but as you know, and I want Bob to do well. He's from the academy, I get it. But I can't keep saying because he's from the academy, I want him to do well.
But Martin, this is the thing for me.
I can't.
And even the loan, let's say we send him on a loan. You know what's the craziest thing? He's our oldest option for the right wing. He's older than Church.
No, I mean buying someone. Because I mean buying someone's back because people forget for City to buy someone in January, we have to sell 2 or 3 players. That's just to buy one.
This is where I'm getting at. If Bob goes on a loan, his future at City is over. Because he's the oldest guy out of them.
Yeah, he's older than Savio. He's older than Doku. He's older than all those players.
I don't think he's older than
Savio
Doku.
Is he not older than Doku?
I don't think I think
it might be the same age.
No, same age-ish. The one thing I will give Savio is not doing it in an attacking. I get that. Totally agree. He's poor. But he is at least trying to track back and run. Bob's not even giving me that. Bob looks nervous. He looks like, And I get it. I don't think the Pep comments and the Norwegian, who's the Norwegian manager? Can't remember his name. Whoever his name is, I hate to forget names. But when they're both kind of coming out with the same comments, worries me. That's now on the player. When both your club and your country manager are saying the same things about you.
So what did I don't remember Pep's comments about Oscar Bob. What did Pep say?
It was about confidence. He said, "We know you've got the ability, but you've got to believe you are who you are." Which was like the Norwegian manager. You've got it, but show it now. You've got to play with that confidence, play with that oozy. He looks like he's just given up. He'll beat his man. He'll do a lovely run, and then he gets there and doesn't know what to do.
The thing
and I think for Brighton and Newcastle, I think he'd get the time. At Manchester City, we're not in a 5-year plan. We're not. We're in a win now plan.
It sounds horrible, but I think what Bob needed was the same that happened to O'Reilly, aka the main guy for the position gets an injury for 2 or 3 months, and he's being forced to play the young kid. Because then he doesn't have it in the back of his mind that I need to perform because this is the only chance I've got. He can be like, okay, I know I'm going to play the next game, so I can take it slow. I can just do the basics and improve as time goes on, which is what O'Reilly did.
Yeah, I said the same thing about even at the beginning of the season about Doku, because coming in, I think we all expected him to be competing with Marmoush for that left side. Marmoush got hurt, and so Doku had a run of matches that he could play consistently without having to look over his shoulder and know that if I make a mistake, there's somebody that's coming in and I may not get back on the pitch. And so you can play a little bit more free. You can play a little bit more with a little bit more confidence because you know you're not going to get yanked the first time you make a mistake. And so I think that built Doku's confidence, and we see now what he's kind of becoming, and he's now playing with that level of confidence most like week in, week out, whereas before it was more up and down, a little bit less consistent. But we're seeing that now because he had that run of matches. So I definitely understand what you're saying about Oscar Bob, about just needing a run of matches. But that's, like you said, that's probably not going to happen because he has other players that he has to compete with. He has to compete with Savio on the right side. He's got to compete with Cherky on the right now. And so it's going to be hard for him to get just a run of matches and to expect that. So he's
not only that, Tariq, they've got to show it. Yeah. If you know you've only got a limited amount of opportunities, you got to grab. This is my issue with Bob and Rico, by the way, at the minute. I'm not just going to lay this at Bob. When Rico came into a try, and I get it, when you come into a winning team, it's a lot easier. When every cog's going the same way and it's finely oiled and everything's going well, you look better. But I'm sorry, Rico Lewis looks like a lost puppy who doesn't know where his owner is. And I'm going to say this now, Oscar Bob is not good enough for Manchester City Football Club. And I don't even think signing the contract matters because it was more of a slight increase in your wage more than a longer contract. So he already had 3 or 4 years left on his contract.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was because this is the thing, City were willing to sell to Forest. He turned the Forest move down. And when a club is willing to sell you, in the same way they were also willing to loan Bob in the summer, that's not telling me there's a long-term future for you at this football club.
Adam says, Martin, stop this agenda against the academy players.
Oh.
Big up, Kelkster. Thanks for jumping on with us. Always glad to be on a stream with you.
I don't have no agenda. I'm just not going to, just because from the academy, I've got to give them countless opportunities. If you ain't good enough, you ain't good enough.
Kelkster, tell me about the match today. What's your thoughts?
Oh, that was a game. That is 90 minutes of our lives we're not getting back. I don't know. It's weird. I figured there'd be some rotation in this game, but to make like wholesale changes like that was bizarre. Like I figured Tijani would play. I figured Savinho would play. I figured that John Stones would play just because they've been very consistent. Like they've been in all of our Champions League games so far. So I understood that. But, I was like, yeah, Donnarumma will be there. It'll be Ruben Diaz and Yashko, or Vardy will be benched. It'll be Ruben Diaz and Stones. Run it back. We'll keep the fullbacks. We'll keep, obviously, Nico G because there's no one else available. We'll Doku will start or something, or maybe rotate him out. But you'll have Foden, you'll have Marmoush. Maybe play Marmoush. But that lineup just, I was shocked. I thought Pep forgot what competition he was in. Was he in the Carabao Cup? Was he in the Champions League? I didn't get it. It was, and then
but he doesn't even make those many. He doesn't make that many changes in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah,
he doesn't even go
basically that same lineup in the Carabao Cup. The last game, didn't he? Like at Swan. I mean, Turkey was starting under that.
The Carabao Cup was less because he had Mikasa in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah,
true. I had no idea why Rico Lewis was in there. I had no idea why James Trafford. I did not get that at all. But Martin's here. He gave some wonderful insight on our watch along. So
yeah, he was sharing a little bit.
You probably already explained him. I won't go into that.
He was sharing a little bit of it earlier. So yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to make signings in Jan? People have to leave. And sometimes you get an opportunity, grab it. And they didn't grab it. If you get hooked at half time, it's not a good look. And you're already on the edge. When you're already on the edge and you're the first two at half time, and you're also rotated around being left at home. Like I said, 2 and 2 makes 4 sometimes. Sometimes the writing's on the wall. And my question is, would you, and I asked this, Adam says about the academy, would you turn down a Semenyo, keep Bob?
Scarf, boy, you want to say something?
Hard to say. Oh, yeah. Well, what I was thinking about before is I think City suffers from kind of a unique problem where the academy is so far distant from the first team squad. It's kind of like a Real Madrid situation. Like if you're Brighton and you graduate from the academy, going from, PL2 or whatever you want to call it to a mid-table team, that's like a jump in level. But City is a full level above a mid-table Premier League team. We're at the top of the table, a European powerhouse. So coming out of the academy, you almost have to go somewhere else. Like I think Phil Foden kind of ruined the pathway for a lot of these guys where I don't know that you can go straight from the academy to the first team. You got to take a loan to somewhere to a Sunderland, or you got to go to Burnley for a year, or you got to go to Dortmund for a year or something like that. I don't think it's realistic to expect these 18 or 19-year-old guys to make such a huge jump and to be able to play in a squad coached by Guardiola,
I think it can. We've seen it happen. Oh, go ahead, Spartacus.
But to be honest, even if they do this loan thing, they're still not coming back. Like, look at Trafford. He did exactly what you said, and let's be honest, the fact that he played today is a joke. We all know that this guy's going.
Yeah.
His head is not here anymore. His head is not at City anymore, and I can't blame him.
Yeah.
He looked scared tonight. That's what worried me. He looked scared.
Yeah.
He looked like a young kid in a headlight.
Do we think he gets... I know there's the conversation about Newcastle. Do we think that's an option for him to go to Newcastle and kind of us finagle a part exchange kind of a deal where we send you Trafford, we get some money off of
is he going to play at Newcastle, love?
Well, Nick Pope
probably will next season.
Oh no, you mean Trafford? Sorry, I thought you meant Trafford. I think Trafford is going to sound real. I think the Wolves want to be a shout.
On loan or a permanent sale?
I'm not sure he will go in January, to be honest. I think Trafford may be the end. Because again, I don't see City losing 2 goalies in January.
So you believe that, obviously you believe that Ortega is going to be gone in January for sure.
Yeah, unless you get Ortega back on side. Because all it takes is one injury to Donnarumma. And this is really going to sound controversial. I'd rather go with Ortega in that than Trafford right now.
Oh.
You think? That's surprising.
That's not being harsh. What worries me is, and yes, I think he's a great shot stopper, and I think he's got a bright future in the game, 100%. That's twice at the Etihad where he looks like the lights are too bright for him. Because the other dodgy one was Tottenham at the Etihad.
So how do you square that with the confidence that we saw from him at the beginning of the season before Donnarumma came?
Because he didn't have Donnarumma in front of him.
And again, it's the same thing I said about Doku. When you don't have to look over your shoulder, you can play more confident. You can be more free. Makes sense.
The problem is he knows he's number 2, doesn't he? And he knows he's number 2 for a very, very long time. He knows if there was a final tomorrow or a semi-final, he's on the bench.
He knows that he's in the same situation as Looney was the season that Courtois got an ACL. He knew that even if Courtois got back 2 days before the Champions League final, the one playing that game was not Looney anymore. It was Courtois. The same thing is going to happen with Trafford. Even if Donnarumma gets an injury and stays out for like 6 months, if there is a Champions League final and he has not even played a game, we all know that Donnarumma is the one playing the final. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter how well Trafford is doing, Donnarumma will take that spot. So, like, what's the actual motivation for Trafford to just keep working hard, keep trying to improve and everything, because he knows there's nothing he can do.
Well, then I guess
The guy
his
just needs to
motivation is to find a better club, get to the best club possible.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he just needs to go.
Put himself
like,
in the
for
shop
for
him
him.
or
window.
something.
Adam says Trafford did all right tonight. FOTMob didn't agree.
I don't think he
FOTMob gave him a 5.3, which is the lowest out of everyone. Now, again,
I think
sometimes
Adam
FOTMob,
watches different games.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it, so I can't say what he did well or not well or whatever.
There was one moment
he was at fault for the goals.
And Kelso knows the moment. I mean, there was one moment where your heart goes in your mouth and you go, have I just seen that? Seriously, have I just seen that? It was like amateur hour.
Fuck me,
I already forgot.
It was like Tottenham.
was
It was like
fuming at
Tottenham
both
all
of them.
over again. And you're
Oh,
like, oh,
okay.
wait,
Yeah. I know what you mean now. Yeah.
I was fuming at Stones and at Trafford. What the fuck are these two doing?
Yeah, Stones in that game 2025 is not a thing. What? Yikes.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
And
if we give John Stones a contract extension, I'm gonna say then there's something wrong with Viana, because I don't think he deserves it. I
don't think Stones was a problem tonight. I think Stones was actually our best defender. Just my opinion. I thought he was our best defender out the four.
To be fair, the bar isn't
I
high.
don't think that's saying very much.
So I see this comment from Curtis Matheson. Can't believe I actually froze my bollocks off watching that tonight. So I want to know, Curtis, if you were actually at the match, because that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like you're saying, I assume. Did you hear the crowd booing the players at the end of the match? Because that's what I thought that I heard on the stream that I was watching. Now, again, it cut pretty quickly, so maybe I'm wrong, but I want to know if that was the sentiment of the folks in the ground. What was the feeling?
I can tell you what my brother told me.
Okay.
My brother went instead of me tonight. Yes, they were booing at the end.
Wow.
Which doesn't normally.
The player manager. That's what I'm wondering.
By the way, is Magnus here?
Probably the players.
Yes, Magnus has been quiet.
I'm quiet. I'm just absorbing everything, and oh god.
Let him talk.
I can't even happy clap out this one, Magnus.
No,
I've tried, but I can't.
It was a tough watch, wasn't it? It was really tough watch. There was no leaders out there tonight, and that's one of the biggest disappointments for me. John Stones is one of those leaders who leads by example. He's not vociferous, so don't expect him to, beat his chest or anything like that. He's not that type of player. But I really think tonight we missed someone like Bernardo, who could put his foot on the ball, dictate the play, dictate the rhythm, try and cover spaces. We're going to miss some of these old unks when they go. We've already got rid of some, and the remnants are going to be going very soon, and we're going to.
Kelster's taking notes, Magnus. She's taking notes. I can see it. She's taking notes.
It means that we're going to have to buy very carefully, whether we buy in January or the summertime. It doesn't really matter. It just means that we're going to have to be very shrewd, because we've not got any leaders at all right now.
Martin, when was the last time that I publicly slated Bernardo Silva? I think it's been a while.
I know, I'm only bouncing him.
I've been pretty calm about him lately.
I'm getting ready for stateside tomorrow. That's all. No, but in all seriousness, do you want me to share the list of positions for January? Because you'll be shocked.
Okay. Ooh, let's hear it.
One is a midfielder.
That's not a surprise.
Yeah, no.
I would be talking to Morgan Gibbs White agent right now. Get him out of there, because we need a dog like Morgan Gibbs White. I know everybody.
If you knew, if only you knew.
The KDB replacement was set everybody off, but him as an 8 on this team, exactly what we need. We needed him at Newcastle. He would have taken Tonali out.
That's not the dream signing for Pep. The dream signing is Pep. Pep. He reminds me of a dog with a bone. When he just won't get rid of it.
Is you gonna say Bruno G?
Yeah, yeah.
Bruno
Oh,
G
were you
would
really gonna
He's
say
like-
Bruno G?
trophies the rest of his
Yeah,
career. I don't
he's
think we
like
need that
a-
mentality at our club.
He's a dog with a bone with him.
Right,
I
Martin.
just-
I don't know why. He's 28,
Martin.
29. Not my cup of tea, but at that age.
I just don't
but-
see it
Why is he
happening.
kept
But
not telling him this every time he plays him? Be like, do you want to rot?
Well, he
here
was.
the rest of
Why-
your
why-
career
why
and
do
well,
do
you
you
nothing?
did
keep
see
having-
him. Yeah, they were
Why
having a
do you
big
keep having?
conversation.
Yeah.
They
Why
were
do you think he
arguing
keeps like?
yesterday or whatever
Why
day
do you
it
think he
was.
keeps winking at him in the tunnel? Why do you think he keeps doing all that?
I don't
Well, then
want to
Bruno
even
was
speculate
rejecting
on that.
Pep.
But what I will say, Martin, when you say a winger, can you specify left or right side?
Semenyo is one. The Semenyo is
Okay.
on the list.
All right.
That's
So
why I
you,
fear
when
for
you
Bob.
say midfielder, you're talking more of a like that three behind. If we're playing 4-2-3-1,
An
that
engine.
three kind of.
The profile is an engine runner, physicality. So Elliot Anderson, Bruno, Belabor, Gibbs White, anything around that area you can run round. Viana's got plans. This is I honestly believe that's why he did what he did tonight. I don't yes, it was probably stupid, but I think that's come from above of we need to see who can go in Jan now.
I you know what? I said that earlier to another group of lads.
We need to see who's going to do it and who isn't, and we can start going. Because if it was up to Viana, he'd bring 4 or 5 in Jan. He wants to get going. Viana's got. There was this months ago where Viana don't mess around. The other problem is, don't expect Rodri anytime soon.
Yeah.
So now
Like,
you've
to
really
come
got to
back into
start.
the team, or he's probably leaving this summer, isn't he?
Well, he's not even training full at the moment. He's not even on the bench. That's where his fitness is at the minute.
Wow.
The word I got was early 2026. He's due back.
What did he do?
So another month plus.
Did
He's
he,
had
like,
a
tear his
setback on
hamstring
his
or something?
setback on his knee. No, just setback on his knee. He came back again back to the rotation thing. He brought Rodri back, and Rodri's fault and his. Rodri trouble with a player, they want to play all the time.
Yeah.
They want to play and they think I can go. So you go, and he's pushed his body too far.
Mm.
Well, somebody
It is
had
what
to
it
protect
is.
the player at the club, and nobody did. The
Nobody
manager
did.
didn't,
No, the
manager
trouble was, no, he
didn't.
did. It was because they have that. You've all heard of the green light, red light, amber light, the way they do it. He was fine. He was ready to go. What I think's happened is he's pushed. Like there was a game which game was it where he said the plan was 60 minutes and off, but he said no, I want to go further.
Wasn't
I
that
want
in
to
the
go
Club
that
World
extra
Cup?
20. No, it was in the Premier League. Was one of them. Was one of them in the Premier League? He pushed too far, and then he was out. Remember, he was out for a bit and then came back again. And I can't remember who that was.
Well, Pep forced him to play he played the full 90 for Brighton.
Might have been the
was
Brighton.
shocking.
Might have been Brighton.
Then he played the full Derby. Then he played Napoli, which he should not have played. Then he played the Arsenal game, and then I think he
Napoli.
something up.
Napoli. That was it. It was the Napoli game.
Napoli, yeah.
That one too far.
That's
So-
when I said Nico G was
Too
finished
far.
because he didn't start that game,
And
and I
when-
didn't understand why Nico G didn't start that game.
Snoopy asked the question. So it's not his hamstring because I know I thought that it was different injury, but maybe they just kind of couched it that way so that we wouldn't all
Because the
freak
trouble
out.
was he had 2 injuries, didn't he?
Mm.
He didn't just have an ACL. It was an ACL and was it an MCL? He had both, didn't he?
Meniscus.
Where he had both. And
But meniscus is cut and dry. I've had a meniscus injury, so I can actually speak on fact from this. I got it when I was like a teenager, so obviously different body type. But I was running like 6 weeks later after a meniscus
yeah,
tear,
but
and I had a really bad
you're
tear,
not
and
running
I had-
every 3 days at 90 minutes in the Premier League. That's the difference.
No, but I was still running like miles for high school, like, because we had PE class, we had to run the mile. So yeah, I mean, meniscus is a very cut and dry injury. It's the ligament.
Which was the
that's-
one he took that heavy tackle on the knee? Remember, he took a really heavy challenge.
I can't remember that. What concerns me more than even the injury itself, because in time that'll hopefully get better. But it's the contract issue now for me where he's concerned, because as time's progressing like this, he's entering into. Is he into his final 2 years, or is into getting close to his final
Yeah,
year?
18
months left, I
months.
think.
He's at 18 months.
You see what I mean? And the balance switches over to the player when you're getting into like the final year, especially.
So this is gonna be controversial, but Curtis Matheson said I'd sell Rodri to Madrid, milk them for the cash, get Wharton or Anderson or maybe even both. Would any of
won't pay,
you?
though.
Would any of you? Well, they would most likely try to get him on a free. That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
Everybody
they'll
else.
make him sit his They will not pay money for him. They'll say, just wait till you're 31 and we'll get you on a free.
Would any of you entertain the idea? I heard some whistling from Martin.
Yeah,
He might
I
know
heard
something.
that.
Well, what are you knowing? What do you know? What are you thinking?
That has been discussed.
Really? So would any of you,
Yes.
if you're Viana, would you do this? Again, Rodri's a Ballon d'Or winner. Just to remind folks who we're talking about here.
Can I jump in first on that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yes, I would. And I wouldn't ordinarily say this because he is such a key player for us. But I said at the start of this season, I'm going to give him till December to see how he progresses and base my decision on that. Because while you've still got a little bit of chunk left in his contract, you might be able to get some money for him. But if it looks like in that period of time, he's not going to ever get back, in your opinion, to the Ballon d'Or level, you'd be crazy not to try and offload. He's going to be 30 by the time you make this kind of decision. It looks like he's never going to get back to his best. I would consider then, and especially with the homegrown issue we've got coming on the horizon, I'd be looking at someone like Wharton.
Have you had a chat with Hugo?
Who's Hugo?
Viana.
Oh, that Hugo.
Because I'll
no.
tell you now, that's exactly what Hugo's thinking, is what I was told.
I'm in the wrong job.
That's exactly the thinking of. I mentioned it to Kelsey a few weeks back of.
Magnus is
someone
Hugo.
400
That's what you didn't know.
Would you give someone 400 grand a week,
That's why I'm not on camera.
4-year extension, and he can't play every 3 days?
Yeah.
I think right
Hugo
now he
Bia-
can't play every 3 games. But
You
I don't
got to
think it's gonna be
remember,
that way
Hugo
forever.
Biano, Pep is emotionally attached into this job, role, club, the lot. Hugo Biano has no attachment to any player. He has no sentimentality to any player. He has no sentimentality to Manchester City right now. He's looking at this from a pure squad analysis point of view. A very cold pair of eyes.
You have to.
And that's one of the questions of, well, if he's never going to get back, why should I give him 400 grand a week? When
I think it's too soon to
in
say he'll
18
never get back.
But in
'Cause if
18
he
months'
goes to Madrid
time,
and gets it back, we're all going to be like, damn it. And
No,
they
but
win a
Kelsey,
champ- they
in
beat us
18
the
months'
Champions League
time-
and they win the Champions League trophy. We're all going to be crying. I promise you.
no, but think of this from Hugo's point. In 18 months' time, is Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton going to be on the market?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
But do we have to? You said we have to sell to buy.
Mm-hmm. No, by the way, Rodri, I don't mean for January. If Rodri goes, it'll be this summer.
Well, sure. But I'm just saying we couldn't just go get Wharton or go get Anderson.
Yeah, because there's
without
no,
making
there's
some
no
other
quota
changes.
on them.
'Cause again, we're gonna
They're not
lose-
a
we're gonna-
foreign spot.
We're gonna lose Bernardo in the summer, right? So again, we're not getting any money for him, but he
Do you want another whistle?
makes decent amount of money. Go ahead. I want all the info. I'll spill all the tea on here. Is that a saying? Hold on, Martin? Is that a saying in the UK? Spill the tea.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
spill
Okay.
the beans. Is it? I thought we spill the beans.
It is.
You've been out of
we
England
said,
too
we
long.
said
you
spill the
bad
beans too, but like nowadays, like somebody said the young people, but
I'm gonna get shot. Someone's gonna listen to this and come after me on Twitter. Trust me. Martin said, reportedly, as I always say. If the contract extension does not happen, Pep and Hugo would prefer not to allow that much experience to all depart at the same time.
Ooh, so
okay.
reading
that's the
into that
problem.
statement, what I just heard you say is if
Bernardo
Rodri
staying.
doesn't
Rodri leaves,
resign,
Bernardo staying.
Bernardo stays. That's what I just heard from
That's a
you, and
mistake.
that is
You take that
wild
wherever
to
you
me.
want, Tariq. You take that up, down, left, and right, wherever you want there, mate.
Oh,
Martin.
So does Phil Foden just not count as experience? Does Holland not count
Yeah,
as
but
experience?
are you going to
Are we
go
ever
with
gonna
just
consider
Foden as?
Jasko Vardiol's experience? Like,
No, but I'm talking about in the midfield. Your only experienced midfield will be Foden.
Johnny Reinders is not experienced at 27 years old in his prime.
Not in the Premier League, no.
No, Danny Reinders is not experienced. He never won a trophy before.
And not 20
He
minutes.
did. He won a cup with Milan last season. They dunked over Inter in the final.
No,
they
I think
didn't
when they're
win.
talking
No, they didn't win
experience,
it.
I think
That
he's
wasn't the
talking
final.
Premier League.
Scarf Boy, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was just going to say it wasn't 20 minutes ago on this very show that we were digging out today's lineup for not having an experience. So I think you're exactly right. If Rodri goes, how can Bernardo not? I mean, how can Bernardo stay?
And not only that, there could also be a knock-on effect here if you're following that train of thought, that you might want to keep Stones as well because the homegrown issue.
Sure.
Well, if you're buying Elliot Anderson and Adam Wharton, that'll negate the need for John Stones.
I think.
Oh, they won't buy both. No, they won't buy both. It'll only be one. They won't buy both.
Okay.
I'll be shell shocked if they bought both.
That wasn't the final. The Inter Milan versus Milan. The final was.
I mean,
Milan versus Atalanta.
Hopefully, Rodri extends.
Anyways, he dunked on him anyway.
I mean, hopefully Rodri extends and Bernardo goes off in his merry way with our wishes. I think that's what we all want, but Rodri's got to prove his fitness. Keep saying 400 grand a week is a chunk of change.
Oh yeah,
it's a chunk of change. You've got to. For me, I would give it him, but if it goes wrong, for example, KDB.
Yep.
Look what's happened at Napoli. Imagine if we'd have done that and kept him on his money.
Yeah. All the signs were there though with KDB. If you look back on his final year or two, all the signs were there breaking down. It's very difficult to get over those sort of injuries the older you get as a player, and we made the right decision in the end.
And you would.
This is why I like the Viana bit, because Viana's looking at this with a cold pair of eyes. Viana's got nothing in the game here with any of these players. He's not bought any of them. There's no sentimentality anywhere with them.
I like that. I'm not afraid of that. I quite welcome that, because that's how you keep a club fresh. We have to.
Yeah, and I don't think Viana will make the mistakes Cheeky made. I think Cheeky had become too sentimental with it.
Yeah, I agree. But if you want to keep Stones and Bernardo, I think that's being sentimental. I just don't think they're good enough to be starters anymore for our team. And I mean, you see with Stones, he's not, but he's showing today, like, I don't think that's good enough in the Premier League anymore. And I think Bernardo had a really poor game at Newcastle. I think games like that, where he is guaranteed to start because he's the captain, I think hurts us in those particular games. Not every game. I'm not saying that. I think he can provide valuable experience in certain games. But a game like at Newcastle away against Tonali and Bruno, I don't think he's capable of performing in those kind of games anymore.
Too small. Yeah.
Well, plus,
I disagree.
Phil Foden, who is getting better, but is still not there yet. And, just leaving Nico Gonzalez by himself on an island against those three was
that Newcastle performance. There was a whole bunch of things that was wrong with that performance that you can't pinpoint on the fact that we couldn't match up with them physicality wise. It wasn't that. We just didn't play the right game, and there was a certain amount of things going wrong all together at once, which led to us being beaten there.
I think.
Well, no, and I'm not saying Bernardo's the reason we lost the game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I don't think he's the reason we lost, but I just think a game like that he's going to struggle in, and especially if he's a year older. That's all. And if he's the captain and he stays, he'll guarantee playing those games. And I think that. I just think that I think you're benching a better player in one of those games.
This is the thing, girls. In my opinion, also, one of the reasons why Nico G wasn't on island is because he put himself there. Sometimes he's too aggressive on the ball, and that makes it so that he just gets caught constantly on the wrong side of the ball or just stuck in an island by himself.
Well, I understand
I
that
think-
because he's still learning the position. So yeah, I understand him making that kind of mistake.
But then this isn't on Bernardo anymore. Like, no player is going to help him at that point.
That's valid.
We that Newcastle game, we fell into the trap of playing the way that Newcastle like to play, and they made it a physical brawl. We should never have tried to match up with them like that. We should have used our heads and played around them. We tried to do that. They made some effective changes. You got to give credit to the coach, and it nullified a lot of the things that we were trying to do. But it is what it is. I mean, that game's about a week or so ago now, you know. But like,
I was more worried about tonight's game than I ever was at Newcastle.
Oh, same.
yeah, the performance tonight was pretty horrific.
And do you know what showed me tonight? There wasn't a lot of experience on that team in the starting 11. So that's where experience does count sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I made.
I know you're going to say Nico.
What kind of lineup is so
Nico G.
baffling? Yeah, where was the? Where
But
was
Nico G is still inexperienced for a Premier League.
Yeah, he is.
Sure,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Inexperienced.
100%.
And that's what worries me with Rodri and Bernardo to go. And Stones goes. And Ake goes. You had Haaland and Foden become your two experienced guys.
Yeah.
Hey, Diaz is
gonna
still
be
there.
honest.
Diaz is still there. Vardiol is still there. Donnarumma is a very experienced player. He's won very high-profile games as a very young player for club and country.
No, but I don't think 5 players out of 25 is good enough for experience. I think that's too low.
I think
For me, out of
Five-
squad of 25, I think you need 10, 12 at least. I've got
That's
experience.
where you get the mercenaries, what I call the mercenaries.
No, but that's where you end up like
Gotta find some
Chelsea.
of those.
And yes, Chelsea are doing well at the minute, but it's took them 5 years to get to that level. Do you want to
I
wait
think-
5 years for everyone to become great?
I don't
We
think
might have to.
fans will
It's a-
take it.
You know, we
Mike.
might have to.
But they're not going to because they won't give Savio the time of day.
No.
He's only been here 18 months. Oscar Bob, even Rico Lewis. So as much as we say we've got to, we're not doing as a fan base. We're not giving them the time.
Some have already
People
given
not
up
gonna
on the
be patient.
project, haven't they? Like people are already
Yeah.
crashing out.
Oh,
and everything.
Kaylee,
It's
how you
like,
doing?
we've got to give them time. Good to see everyone, by the way. Hope everyone's
Chelsea, yeah,
Okay, lad.
Keely's right. You were in the watch long. How many Pep outers were there?
Yeah, I don't get that at
This-
all. I really don't.
this
I
is
think
the
you got
thing.
today wrong, but I'm not
Patience.
put out.
Patience
today wrong, though.
is. I wish, and this has always been my argument. I was going to bring this up tomorrow night on Stateside, but I'll say it now. When we bought Bernardo, Walker, and everyone else, we weren't serial winners. We were sort of on our journey with that. We're looking at all these players and saying what we're basically doing is we're at a level where we brought on Sane, young. There was Bernardo, youngish. Stones. How old was Stones when we bought him? 22?
22,
Yeah.
yeah.
21? 21, 22? So they were all sort of building. And it's took 5, 6, 7 years. But because we hadn't won everything, I think we all still had the patience then to allow that team to gel, to grow, to mature into being serial winners. But because we're already serial winners, we've no longer got the patience to allow any of these guys to grow for 3, 4, 5 years anymore.
And the problem is
We've now got to win now. But the trouble is, then don't buy young players, go and buy win now players. But that wasn't what built us into the team we was.
But you can buy young players who have experience. Like Bernardo was young, but he had experience. They went to the semifinals in the Champions League. İlkay Gundogan, I don't remember, maybe he wasn't super young, but he had been to a Champions League final. I think we've kind of been buying a lot of young players, but none of them have any experience. You like to bring up Kusanov only playing 25 professional games or something like that. The only young player we've got with any kind of like serious experience has been Joško Vardiol, because he was regularly making Champions League with RB Leipzig. He got 3rd place in the World Cup with his country as a teenager. Like,
yeah, but he's played
young
in a
and
World Cup.
experienced, but
Yeah.
Doku had no experience. Savino had very little experience. But his year was pretty impressive with Girona. He did make team of the
But
season.
Bernardo had
That
only
is
done it
good.
for one season. Sane had only done a good season, a season and a half at Schalke.
Not even.
He wasn't sort of ripping it up for 4 years.
And Chaos, like we're saying that we can do that. Give me the names of the players who are that good and are also young. There is none. Like Semenya doesn't
unless
have
you go and get a
good
Yamal.
experience. Yamal is there, but let's be honest. Pedri is there, but let's be honest. So the players are not there. Like there is no young player who's buyable and also got loads of experience. This player is just not on the market. So we have to either buy those or
Well, how much was Bernardo when we bought him? 35 million?
yeah.
Well, but the market has shifted a little bit though too.
That's what I mean, Tariq. If you go and get someone of a Bernardo now, you're at 100 mil.
Because again, if we think about a Wharton, we're going to pay a ton of money for Wharton, and part of that is because he's homegrown, or if you say Anderson, which take your pick. And I don't know that either of them. We would say that in this conversation, we wouldn't say that they were super experienced. So
no. I think Kyle Walker was the most experienced player we bought that summer because he'd been at Spurs.
Wasn't he? Or was
he was 20, 25, 26.
Yeah,
we paid 50
we paid
million
50
euros
million
for Bernardo in 17.
Maybe Cancelo.
Personally,
Cancelo was around at that time.
I've always thought with the market situation that we're talking about at the moment, it's I don't like I've actually thought this since the Wirtz situation, you know, when everyone was so set on Wirtz, we were shutting the club doors if we weren't signing him, all that. I think there's no real player you can actually go out in today's market that's a realistic signing and him not be a gamble, if you know what I mean. I don't like, and especially with the way we want to play, it's no one's guaranteed to fit into this system or hit the ground running straight away. And this is the thing. It's like, it's almost a situation of now we've done it the last 2 windows. We've gone into the market and we've got players. Are they being the standard that we need them to be? No, at the moment. Some are, yes. But is it going to be a continuous thing of we're just going to keep going back into the market and trying to find solutions? Or because I've also been thinking, this is another one, tonight's performance made me think that we really need to hope that we don't get any big injuries because we could be in big trouble if we do. And even saying that, the experienced players that come on tonight, Haaland, Doku, Foden, they weren't good enough. And that was worrying as well. So it's, we just need to keep going and get to Leeds and see how we cope in that game and go from there, because I want to give it until I want to see our strongest 11 out on the pitch again, because I'm not going to let that game determine my thoughts. It was just not our day, and yeah.
I think the market is so skewed back the other way of, if you want to go, like you just said it, Tariq, and Elliot Anderson is what, 90 mil? Wharton's 90 mil to 100 mil?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So if we were to buy these players, Livramento, 80, 85 mil, we're talking $500 million to get the players we're wanting to go and buy. If you want the ready-made experience and right age and everything, you're talking $500 million.
Well, I feel like it's the Premier League; those fees are high, but PSG got Kvaratskhelia for $60 million in January, and I'd say he's not really
political.
a young player's developing. You know, he won a couple of.
That was a political.
I'm just saying that
because Florian Wirtz wasn't 60, was it?
All the, you know, Yao Neves
Florian
had
Wirtz wasn't
120 million
60.
release clause. He got him for half the price. I think there's a
Florian Wirtz. How much was Florian Wirtz?
Yeah, exactly. Florian Wirtz came to the Premier League for 120 million pounds.
Exactly.
So you think it's just
I don't think it would have cost that much.
You think it's just the Premier League because again everybody knows they have the money
for Premier League clubs. Yeah.
Or even internally within the Premier League, each club is jacking the price up because
especially English players. Yeah. The English.
How much was Voltemada? You look at how wide Bayern Munich pulled out of Voltemada.
He was pretty expensive.
Exactly.
No, he was.
Bayern Munich were only willing to pay 30.
I'll say Bayern Munich. I think it was one of their backroom staff, whatever. I don't know who it was. I forget what the name, but he was like, they basically laughed at Newcastle for paying the money that they paid for Voltemade, because it was like, there's no way he's worth that. But again, he's been good. He's been, pretty good.
been decent,
But
yeah.
but again, that's a lot of money. But again, when you're in the Premier League, you just have money to burn. It's just sitting in your pocket. You just got to throw it at something.
I think this is why Semenyo, the more to think about it, Semenyo at his release clause is probably the best value for money. It's like Elise, to get Elise out of Bayern Munich, you're looking at 150-ish.
That's just crazy.
He had a release clause for 50 million though, and nobody bit.
Martin, even then, like let's go for Semenyo, for example. The guy's been doing it for a season. He's hardly guaranteed to be good. Could be
Another one to
could
think.
be a one-season wonder. Go on.
Sorry,
This is the problem City are in. I think City they know they've got to spend money. It's making sure they spend money on the right. They don't want another Jack Grealish, spend 100 mil, and then 3 years later everyone's having a meltdown because you spend 100 mil.
So Curtis says, just pay the cash for Elise. It's not my money. Now, contrast that with what you just said about Jack Grealish, right? Who we said, okay, we spent 100 million on him. And I'm sure at the time people were like, great. Is Elise any more? Nobody is guaranteed, right? There's no such thing as a guarantee. But is Elise more of a guarantee to hit than, say, Grealish was, whether by playing style or the team that he's playing in currently? Is there anything that makes you think that Elise would be more likely to be a success in the places where maybe Jack Grealish failed or didn't?
Personally, I think Elise, if we're really being truthfully honest, 4 seasons ago, actually 5 now, Elise was playing in the Championship. He has played fantastically for Bayern so far, but it's the first season of Bayern Munich playing at a high level. This current season, he's playing well, but to say that this guy is worth 150 million, pay the money, I don't care. After 2 very good seasons, and 1 decent season at Crystal Palace, I think it's kind of mental.
And so this is my question for you, or kind of what Curtis is saying here. Grealish came in, big fish, small pond, never really adjusted to being just another fish in, in this big pond that we're in. Whereas Elise, at least this one season, and that's what it is, right? Or he was there last year too, right? So
he did it last season as well.
Yeah, so 2 seasons, last season and this season, has shown that he can do it in a big club. Does that make a difference when you bring them into City?
Yes.
I think it makes a difference.
Why. I'm going to have a major kickback now. If you're all going to say do the Salisi stuff, just go and trigger Musiala's release clause, because he has got a release clause.
But just go and trigger Musiala's coming off an injury, though.
Also, he's similar to Foden.
But Musiala's got a release clause. Musiala would be, for me,
he's a goal scorer.
Investment. Yeah, I would love Musiala is cheaper than Elisa, because Elisa doesn't have a release clause anymore. There's no release clause with Elisa anymore.
Musiala's also homegrown.
I was just.
I'd rather just go and trigger Musiala's 120 million release clause and get him out.
Oh mate, I love Musiala.
Is there a world where if we get cleared, will Viana go in that direction of buying big like this, or I don't know?
Yeah, from what I understood, and this was the exact wording of the email, don't expect Galacticos, but don't expect projects. He wants ready-made, established, stable players, i.e. Bernardo Silva.
Well,
so I saw the comment about Semenyo and in the other tweet, I think it was City Extra that, pushed it or whatever. And it was basically Pep wants Semenyo, and he was kind of saying it as a Bernardo replacement. I just don't understand how that works.
Yeah, that makes that's apples and oranges.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I'm not bothered about price. I know City get bothered about prices. Like I will confess, they do. Now, whether Viana is, because here's another thing everyone forgets, Viana is not the whole master of this. He has a boss above him that has to give him the okay. The problem is one of his bosses above him is a tight ass.
Which one?
Well, the one who thinks that he runs the place, and I don't even mean Caldoon at this point.
The
Oh,
one we
I
don't
think
like.
I know
mention his
exactly
name.
who you're talking about.
The one
He's
we
a
don't
tight
like.
ass.
The one
He's
who's
a tight
desperate to make
ass.
the CFG work.
By the way, this is the same guy who allowed his holiday business to go bust and leave a load of people scattered abroad and wouldn't get them away home.
Allegedly.
Please do not
Allegedly.
think Soriano's got any damn feeling behind anyone when it comes to money. Soriano is just a
Interesting.
straight businessman. He is honestly, look that up. You look up Soriano's holiday company or something that went bust. He left people stranded and didn't give it. He's the one behind all this North Stand expansion, and he's the one behind all the ticket increase prices. And
yeah,
he's a money guy. He's just simply a money guy, Soriano.
Big ups Beyond Toxic. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel, my guy. Appreciate it.
I will
And
say this about these
it is what it is.
these players, these couple of players you're talking about, like with Semenyo and Elise. I think one of the two of them would look forward to coming to City. Elise, on the other hand, I would say that what has he got to lose in terms of, would you see yourself going to City from Bayern Munich? You basically guaranteed winning their title every season. You're going to be in the European Cup every season, Champions League, right? And you slotted in well. You're enjoying your life there. Right now, or maybe in the next 2 years, would you want to risk that kind of thing where you're winning trophies to go to City? And I'm saying this as a City fan. Just
Magnus, I'm going to say this quite bluntly. I'll go one step further. Bayern Munich are a bigger football club than Manchester City Football Club.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we all knew that.
I don't
So,
think anybody's going to debate that.
and this is my kickback. We're doing this. Let's go and get Elisa. All right, then. I don't want to hear anyone moaning if Real Madrid come after Haaland.
yeah,
But to be fair, we are a better
It
football
works
club
both
than-
ways.
But to be fair, Madrid are shit, Martin. So leave one to
No,
consider.
yeah, I'm talking about.
Move away from Madrid. Move away.
No, I'm just saying if I don't know where this thing of is. Oh, at least you just forget Bayern and come to what's it. And I'm with Magnus. What's he getting at City? He's not getting at Bayern.
No, I mean that's fair, right? I think everybody is, of course, if he's willing to come, go get him, spend the
Yeah.
money. That's how people feel.
Yeah.
But we also know that people have choices, and just because we want them doesn't mean they want us. Hence, we don't have Jude Bellingham. Hence, we don't have Declan Rice. Hence, hence we don't have a bunch of other people's name on this list, right? We didn't get.
It's my
Alexis
verses in
Sanchez.
blue.
Yeah. So people have their right to choose where they want to go. But if you're just asking the fan base, in one of the pinned tweets that I have over here somewhere is asking that exact same question: is who do you go get? What positions do you go and fill in for? Well, I think everybody would put. There's a lot of conversation about the need for our wingers to be better. So, yeah, I think Elise is going to lead that conversation because he's a really dynamic, one of the best wingers in the world. You mentioned Lamine Yamal. Of course, Lamine Yamal would be in that conversation if he was available. Probably not. There's not that many that are just electric. Now,
can I ask a question, Tariq? Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, but a name that would fit that same criteria, but I don't want, would be Vinny Jr.
No.
Thank God. No.
Oh.
Vinny Jr.
Hang on.
Vinny Jr. is one of the best wingers in the world.
Hang on.
No, he's not.
But
no.
I don't want him. I don't want to keep him away.
We were doing so well.
This is something I've actually been thinking about, not because I want it to happen, but because of the market opportunity of him potentially leaving Madrid. Surely we wouldn't be considering this, please.
Has anyone asked? Well, here's my question: has anyone asked if they fit into our system, or is this fans wanting us to play a system that they want? Because every time we have a conversation on wingers, it always goes back to 3 players: Sane, Sterling, Mahrez.
I
Some
thought
of
you
the
were going to
best.
say Olise.
Some of the
Rodrigo.
best.
No, I agree. I totally agree. But we've not played that way in about 4 years.
I don't think we can play that way in the league
So
anymore.
are you
At least
are you just
wanna
going to
win
bring in
games, you can't.
Elisa? We're going to bring in Elise and just make him go into the 10 role.
To be fair,
So
that's
I'm
what he does
skeptical
at
on
Bayern
Semenyo.
Munich.
I don't think Semenyo fits
That's
here.
what he does.
That's my issue with Semenyo. If
He'll play off the right,
we're going
won't
to
he?
play Semenyo as a touchline winger, then fine. But we don't play touchline wingers.
It'll be interesting
Martin,
to see
to
how
be
he goes
fair,
off the
that's-
right, because Doku won't be able to move off the left. You go, Spartacus.
To be fair, that's what Olise does at Bayern. He starts at the wing and then he comes inside and plays as a 10. So
Because look at who our backroom staff is. Pep Linders. The only reason Doku's turned into this inside forward off the left is because of Pep Linders.
Big up, Luke.
So
I
you
think
need a
it-
winger
Yeah, big up
who's
Luke.
going to invert to fit this. Although it's like, and I hear it. Everyone, Kelsey, I don't not dig bad. I'm just as an example, Kelsey. I said, why not play Mamouche and Ireland together? Because we never play 2 up top.
I don't mean to.
No
up top.
manager on earth ever changes their systems that often. This is what Slot's trying to do now. Slot's bought a load of players and he's trying to fit into his system rather than putting his players into their just go natural. He's putting Zabozlai to right back. Wirtz is going on the left wing, right wing. He's number 8. He's going everywhere but the 10. Isak's not being played as a straight 9 a lot of the time because he's trying to fit them into his system. So that's all Pep will do with whoever you buy. He's just going to fit them to his system. And this is what all managers do. This is what becomes the downfall of a lot of managers no managers are flexible. Really. This is like Alonso's having the same issue with it. He's sat there going, no, you're going to do what I'm doing, son. And Vinny Jr. is going, do you know who I am? And Alonso's like, yeah, I'm your boss. You'll do what I say.
Do you know who I am? Give me 30 million a year. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, this is the problem now. Players are suddenly dictating to managers what they're doing. And I hear it from the fans. They want to play a certain way. I get that. But that way they want to play was 10 years ago.
Martin, in the Vinny Jr. thingy, maybe he's gonna get that money somewhere else, some other continent even.
I'll say Saudi
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I don't know who else has the money to spend
Yeah.
like that.
yeah, no, Saudi.
Oh.
He's
If,
looking
if,
at the
if
Saudi deal.
MLS wanted to bring Vinny Jr., they'd cook the book somehow.
Not they can't
MLS,
give
that's
the
a
wages
lot
that
of
Saudi's
cooking.
given. That
Well,
they
look what
can't
they
give
did
the
to
wages to
Messi.
Saudi.
Messi's not getting a wage. He's getting equity in Apple. That's way more valuable than money. He's
Do you
getting
know what?
money.
It'd be
Vinny's
so
not
listen,
smart
it'd
enough
be
to
so,
be able to
but it would.
He said he's
Tariq,
not
you gotta
smart
admit
enough. That's
this.
funny.
If we went back to Sane Sterling, it would be so much easier to go, right, we know who we can buy. But the trouble is, because we don't play out and out wingers, I think this is why Bob's struggling.
But is
Bob's
Bob? I
not a
mean, Bob
winger,
is Bob
though.
really a winger, or is he
I don't
more
think
of
Bob
a
is winger.
10?
I think it was a 10 at EDS, but he can play. See, he can play wing. This is why he loves midfielders on the wing and he likes midfielders at fullback.
Yeah,
Because he likes Nunes and O'Reilly to do the overlap job. Doku comes inside and he plays as like the advanced floater of a 10, which has helped Doku a bit. But this is why Grealish struggled. Because look at Grealish, he had to keep inverting inside. Now watch him at Everton, he doesn't do any of that. At Everton, he's got free roles to go where he wants. He's sort of back in his Villa days.
Well, isn't this typical Johan Cruyff total control, total football? Where everyone's
I don't think we'll
we'll
change our style until Pep's gone. So, and maybe that's something we have to face. You're not going to play the way we want until Pep's not here. And this is why I think something like it's time for the change. Fine. But you're going to have to get rid of about 80% of the squad to play that other way. Because the trouble is, they're all, I think that was part of the problem tonight. Ake, Stones, a cemented on ball playing out from the back. If you look tonight, Trafford, that was what we found so weird tonight. Trafford, Jones, and Ake are all going to play out from the back again. And the last few weeks, we've not done that.
Yeah.
But
that
it's
made no sense.
implemented in their brain for 10 years of play out from the back, guys.
Yep, no
What were you
Haaland.
saying? Players started about Donnarumma.
The scary thing is, I don't know what the answer is. I think that's the scary situation here. None of us know the answer.
Can Pep play the way he wants to play with Donnarumma? And he's trying to do it with Trafford, and Trafford didn't do it.
Well, we missed Haaland, didn't we? We missed Haaland as the target.
Well, there's just so much change that it's hard. It's hard. See, so yeah, it's hard to pinpoint what went wrong when you change up everything. If you had made 2 or 3 changes and it didn't work, you could say, okay, those 2 or 3 changes don't work. When you change up 10 things, 10 people, 10 players, 10 positions, it's hard to say which one of those things was the quote unquote culprit. You just
And
kind of just
Terry-
throw the whole thing away. And that's not not the answer.
To your point, Eric, there was about 6 or 7 times where you could clearly see that those players don't know how to play with each other.
Exactly.
The one that screams to mind to me too, actually, one that Bob started running with the ball, and then he passed it to Reinders, but Reinders had already turned away, so he didn't see him passing the ball to him, and
I remember
just
that.
both of them just miscommunicated. And there was another one very similar. What I think Savio got the ball back at the edge of the box. He passed into Lewis, but Lewis wanted the ball into the space, but Savio wanted to do a 1-2. So he passed it where Lewis was, but as soon as he passed the ball, Lewis turned to attack the space. So they had a miscommunication there. None of those choices were wrong individually, but as a collective, one thought the other one was going to do something that they didn't. So the whole play just fell apart.
Did anyone see the Bernardo comments? Did anyone hear about the Bernardo and Pep Linders thing?
Today?
No. What happened?
Was it after today's match or?
I'm not sure it was today, but apparently they've had words of, not words as in aggressive, but Bernardo's like, well, we sort of play possession football here, and Linders is like, well, you don't anymore.
Well, we don't have a lot of players to play possession football. That's the problem. Is like we kept buying all these direct players, asking them to play possession football, and they're not good at it. So it's like, what? I don't know what the, and we look better when we play direct. Like that's when we're scoring all these like transition goals.
That's what I mean, Kelsey. I think there's a clash of cultures. I think you've got the old players who are like your Bernardos, your Ake, your Stones, your who else? Your Fodens, whoever, who are in their brain, pass. And then you've got your Cherkies and everyone else who are trying to get the ball whip quick and go. And I think they're all clashing. I think there's just a clash at the moment. And it's trying to get a balance between the two. I think it's just trying to get a balance between the two.
I don't know if you can.
I don't know if I agree with the fact that we don't have the players to play possession football. I think we do. I think our midfield suits possession football more than transition. They are not suited for a battle. Bernardo is not suited to fight for the ball. Reinders is not suited for that. Foden is not suited for that. Mm-hmm. The only one that kind of is Nico Gonçalves.
Yep.
But if you don't have perfect control of the ball, perfect weight of passing, perfect precision of passing as well, if you want to play transition, you're going to have to fight for the ball. Unless you have the perfect weight of passing, perfect precision.
Well, that was my next question. Can Rodri play this quick transition, let's go football?
He would need somebody next to him.
I think he can, but he's better at the other one. He won Ballon.
That's what I mean, though, isn't it? It's like, are you going to get the best out of Rodri doing this quick go?
Maybe
Kovacic wouldn't stand a chance in this. Kovacic should be hung out to dry in this situation.
I think he wants to run too, Kova, but he's. Oh, Kova, shout out that hair, man. That looks great.
I think actually.
Never mind the boot cast on it. Never mind the boot cast on his leg. We'll show
I was ready to say, get a headband, Mateo Kovacic. Looking great.
Fair.
Yeah. I
So it's
just
just a
That's
matter
another
of
one
like,
he'll
I
go.
think we have to pick a system and then figure it out, and then you have to. I guess you're gonna have to get rid of the players who don't fit whatever direction you go in. So you're either gonna get rid of all the direct players, or you're gonna.
But
Well,
maybe
or
that's
you need to
what
get rid of
you.
possession. I don't
Maybe
know.
you're right in what you've said, Cal. Is that we're in the middle of a transition, and maybe we've
Yeah.
all forgot that. Maybe we've
Exactly.
just all forgot we're in the middle of this transition.
I think
Martin,
we
then I'll-
kind of go ahead, Spartacus.
But then I'll question: some of the players that we bought, most of the players that we bought, are not transition players. I know he's not a transition player. Chucky is not a transition player. Reinders is not a transition player. So are we gonna get rid of everybody and keep Doku, Haaland, and maybe Foden, and then in Donnarumma and
Yes.
fuck off everybody else? Because the rest are more possession type players.
See, I think Foden could do either one.
Yeah, this is why I included Foden on the keep.
Yeah,
But the rest is like
he's the one person who can do either one. I think.
I think the style just suits Foden, Doku, Haaland. Those are the three that the style suits. Maybe
I think Eight
Come on,
Nori
guys.
can. No, I
This
disagree
suits
on Eight
Marmoush
Nori.
a
I think
lot
he
too.
can.
Marmoush loves to run.
Yeah, Eight Nori can.
What about
Because he
North?
played it at Wolves. He didn't play possession-based football at Wolves. He played transition through the lines at Wolves.
That's fair.
Mateus
I think
Nunes is
Eight
a
Nori
transition
would.
player.
yeah, no,
I like
I'll
our
agree
defense.
with.
I tell
really
you,
like
it
I think
doesn't
Diaz,
suit.
it doesn't suit Diaz at all.
The one it doesn't suit out of our whole signings is Reinders.
I don't think
I
Chucky
don't think it
suits either.
suits Reinders.
I don't think Chucky either. I think Chucky doesn't suit transition at all.
That is a good point from Pepper Squad.
I'll say Dylan said half the time Peps installs a new system in February, anyways.
Yeah.
That is fair. That is
He
fair.
spent
Also,
3
like-
months
like
getting it to work, and I feel like
We
what he
have got
did
a
is
mad
working
scientist.
now, but now I don't. But then he changed
Yeah.
it for no reason tonight. I don't know why.
Would anyone do Belabor? Would anyone
No.
try and stop the United move and go and do Belabor?
No.
How much?
I don't think his touch is good enough. That's one thing.
think-
Like that is one thing that's a big knock on Marmoush, and maybe why he's not playing is his touch is not very good, and he keeps losing the
It
ball.
wasn't tonight. He looked lost tonight.
He was not.
He's
in
not a
that game at
striker.
all.
He's not a target for. He's not a
No.
target man. Like that's all there is to it. He's not a target man.
He
So
needs
what
to
do we
play
need to
where he
do
was
differently
playing
to get
best-
more out of
best
him?
at Frankfurt, or else I don't know why we.
Do you know what I'd have done tonight? And this is the weird thing. I'd have preferred Foden as the 9 and Mamouche round the back as the 10.
I've said this on our group chat before.
That's what I'd have done. But that's me.
Martin, what I would have done, I would play the same three, but instead of playing Mamouche striker, I would play Paul false 9, Saber right winger, Mamouche left winger. I think
Yeah,
it suits
even Bob as
everyone
the
very
9.
perfect.
Yeah.
Say
Yeah,
that
even
again.
Bob is
Say that
the-
again.
Bob is the false 9, Mamouche on the left, and Savio on the right. Because then it suits everybody.
Rico and Reinders rotating with them.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. You got the wing backs as well, like, yeah.
I didn't know why they didn't explode that during the game.
Yeah. I was
You know.
reading Miami's comment earlier about the Rain Nouri and Savinho chemistry wasn't on, and I just felt like I feel like we all expected Nouri to be that overlapping fullback. We've not actually really seen that other than at the club.
Club World Cup, yeah.
Yeah, at the Club World Cup.
Is it me on Eight Nori, or does Eight Nori look like he's going to get injured every time he goes on a tackle, or am I the only one who's noticing this? Because Eight Nori looks
Yeah,
like
a
he's
little bit.
getting sort of smacked every time he goes into
Yeah.
charge. He went down about 3 times tonight.
Oh wow,
Uh-oh.
he's really glitching.
I say, who is that?
Oh, he dropped.
That's the Dalek.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't think he's a very good tackler, Martin.
Maybe it's
weird.
that. I don't know.
Yeah,
He looks like he's just going to hurt himself
Is it
every
better?
time he goes on
Yeah.
a tackle, Eight Nori.
your back's back.
I think the thing with me with Aitnohi is I think the situation is that sometimes his touch is very inconsistent. So when he has a bad touch, he throws himself into the ball, and then it causes him to
Yes,
be in a
that's
challenge,
it.
which is a little bit more aggressive.
He sort of jumps
Comeback
into the
guys are
challenge
disconnected.
rather than naturally
Yeah.
tackles. He's sort of
Yeah.
jumping
Yes.
into it.
To me, he's not a natural defender. He's more of a wing back.
Mhm.
So defending and tackling per se don't come naturally to him.
Mm.
He's kind of, he'd like to be more creative going forward than being the defensive, solid player.
Yeah. Is it any
Probably like
coincidence
playing
him and
with the wing that
Kirkes?
one time.
Is it a concern him and Kirkes are both struggling? Because those two were meant to be the best left fullbacks in the league last year. They've both gone to bigger clubs and they both seem to be struggling in their new systems.
Is it
I
the
don't
way that we
think-
played just doesn't fit the way that they played in the past, and in the way that they just like the same thing about I think we were saying the same thing about Jack Grealish earlier, right? He was big fish, small pond. He had a free role. He could do whatever he wanted. He comes here. It's much more regimented. You got to be on the touch line, and then you can kind of do this, that, and the other. And so he had to change how he played. And in many ways, it changes what he was doing well, what he excelled at. I think you said it earlier. Like if we go get a winger, and they excel playing one way, we bring them in and tell them to play differently. Well, what's the point of that? If they're not going to be able to play the way that we saw them thrive, what's the point?
And there's a lot of examples of that as well. There's a lot of it. We just talked about Marmoush. He excelled playing in a certain position in the German league. We've not utilised him in the same way.
Yeah, he was the left winger who inverted behind Ekitike.
It's like Kelsey said earlier on Semenyo.
Doku's there, and nobody wants to move Doku, even though he's more versatile than Marmoush.
Well, that's my thing with Semenyo. I think Kelly, you mentioned it earlier. Semenyo's generally playing on the left for Bournemouth. Are you going to swap Doku? So if Doku's on the left for us, Semenyo's going to have to change his position straight away when he walks in.
And there's no, and people have said that he's very two-footed. He could play either side. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Exactly, I've not seen it.
I can't guarantee to spend that money, and he comes in and does anything. I don't know that he can play on the right side.
Yeah.
We got told Savinho was better on the left. Since he's gone to the left, I've not seen it.
True.
Yeah, I think that was particularly why tonight Aït-Nouri wasn't overlapping as well. Obviously, like I said, we haven't really seen that from Aït-Nouri, but it's hard for him to really make those runs when Savinho wants to stay really wide on the left. He's very one-dimensional on the left, being left-footed, and it's hard to come inside as a left-footed left winger. Like you can't really expect him to do that. So this is why I'm thinking with.
Now he's gone.
I would like.
I said we're having a whole bunch of trouble. I don't. Maybe it's.
Did you just see what I said?
You kind of cut out.
Are we playing celebrity squares here?
I don't know. What's going on. Like I said, I don't know if it's just maybe it's Restream again. Trying to do something different, and maybe it's
get on StreamYard, you cheapskate.
I don't have any. I don't get any money for this. This is all out of my pocket.
Until he's monetized, at least. Then you can start spending the money.
I'm trying to pay the cheapest I can.
You get there, Tara. You get there.
Now, maybe if I go to StreamYard and do the free, but the free doesn't just limit. It's so limited. It's not worth it.
Yes, no, don't do the free one, Tariq. You don't get anything. It's garbage.
Yeah,
but
you might as well do a Twitter space and do that.
Oh Christ, no! But it's an interesting question.
Imagine a Twitter space. Oh dear.
But it is an interesting question overall.
Like that's why I'm not on Twitter tonight.
when it comes down to who we're going to target over these next few months, we're going to have to really be focused on what do we want, what style of player we're going to be playing, right? Because we've also got a new coaching staff as well, so they're going to have some input into what the needs are of the squad. Identify who's going. Don't forget the homegrown issue as well. There's a lot of things to take into consideration.
Well, you've missed one of the biggest key components, Magnus.
Go on.
This time next year, we're going to be right back to where we were a year ago is Pep staying?
Don't say that. No.
But we will. Yeah. We are going to be right back. This is the problem with a 2-year deal. Every sort of 12 months, you're right back to where you were of, are you staying or are you going?
Well, someone else on Twitter today who I know has some connections was mentioning that Pep potentially wanted to extend.
No, and that's fine. But that's where the signings have to be. So we're all discussing these signings, and this is why I hate Pep going into his last year. Because at some point, surely someone's got to say, are we buying the place for you? Are we back? Because you say you bring in a company in 18 months. Why the company don't want any of these players?
I say Adam Quinn put this way earlier in the stream, and I didn't put it on the screen because we were giving Adam a little bit of grief because some of his comments. But is it time, or it is time in his case, for Vinny to become our new manager in the summer of 2027? Is there any chance that actually happens? I saw a tweet today that Bayern, or somebody from Bayern, basically said that I forget how it was worded, but effectively we were chasing Vinny company, I should say, and so maybe that was us trying to get them. They react by extending him to try to keep him away from us. Obviously, we know that happened earlier. Probably this last month.
I don't know this because of Big Steve. Big Steve spoke to Vinny about this privately. So he shared it, so he won't mind sharing it because he shared it. Company has told Big Steve himself that he will only come to City when he feels he has earned the City job.
He's ready.
And a couple of Bundesliga, I'm not talking a couple of Bundesligas here. He wants to win think if he wins the Champions League. And the other fear for him, I don't think he's going to want to come while there's all this toxicity going on. Because this is my biggest fear with Vinny. Vinny walks in, and within a year, if we're not winning, there will be shall we look again? Because that's how big clubs move.
Yeah, I think
I don't
personally. Yeah, I don't want him to come right now. I don't want him to follow Pep. I think whoever follows Pep, that shadow is way too big. And it's going to be, those footsteps, those shoes to fill, all of that stuff, all those analogies is going to be overwhelming, and it'll be unfair expectations for whoever comes in after Pep. I say be the guy that follows Pep. Whoever follows Pep, follow that person, because they're going to fail most likely, not because they did anything wrong, but because our expectations are going to be way too high. Come after that guy, and expectations will be tempered a little bit.
It's like Slot. You look at Slot. Nobody went after Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp. John told Sam about this today. It was weird, and it's a great analogy. Jurgen Klopp was at Liverpool for how long was it? 5, 6 years, 7 years, however long he was there. He won one title, Champions League, and a load of cups. And as Sam said, if this was Klopp, nobody's saying. So when Klopp finished 5th with Liverpool, there was no sack Klopp. Arne Slot wins the league, straight away next season has a fall off. And there's a lot of Liverpool fans saying, time for Slot to go. Because I said, well, why? And they said, because there was no connection to Slot. Even though he'd won the league, there was no love. There was no, it was like, how do I put it?
Soulless.
Is that the same reason why Arsenal fans are like diehard, in many cases, diehard for Arteta? I'm not an Arteta fan, but what I will give him credit for is he came in the club. That club wasn't great, and he has step by step, piece by piece, gotten them. He's improved them. They've kind of gone through the battles, the wars, the ups and the downs together. Yeah. So now you have that connection. Jurgen Klopp came in. They were poor, and he's worked them up to the top level, won a league, and then when he left, Slot just walked in, and there wasn't any of the we had to build together. He just walked in at the highest level, and we expect you to keep us there and not let it fall. We give you grace if we've fought the fight together. Yeah, but
that's where I'm with you. The next manager after Pep, he's going to be right. There's not going to be a connection. There'll be no love. There'll be no. It'll be just like, oh, this is our boss.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't win it in his first year, you're already there. If he doesn't win it in his first year, they'll be, oh, right, we'll give you one more year. It was a bit like Unai Emery. You look at Unai Emery at Arsenal. He was not given anywhere near the time or the longevity that Arteta was given.
Yeah,
True.
Nowhere
Or the
near
money.
it. Or the money. And it was, see ya, you're done.
because they
But
were
like you
still
said,
they were
yeah.
still chasing the Wenger era.
Exactly. That was straight after Wenger, and there wasn't that connection to him. With Arteta, they've got the connection. With Klopp, there was the connection. With Pep. So I'm with you. I do want company, not after Pep.
So you want a manager
That
to come in
statue
and
is still fresh.
So you prefer a
Hang on.
manager to come in to act as like a sorbet? You know,
Bit
someone
like a
who's-
Pellegrini.
A
Yeah.
palate cleanser.
Yeah, palate cleanser. Yeah,
A Pellegrini.
Okay.
I'll put it bluntly, Pellegrini.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be
Come
honest
on.
with you. Let's be
We know
honest.
you're only going to be here. You are here to hold the seat for Vinny Company.
You
When
got
he's
one-
ready.
Isn't it weird, Tariq? We lord over Mancini, who won one FA Cup and one Premier League. Great.
Yeah.
Pellegrini actually won a league and cup double.
Yep.
No one talks about Nobody
No,
talks about
I know.
Pellegrini at all.
This charming man.
It's like Pellegrini was just like the stopgap. Come in, do a job. He won a league. He won a cup. Right. Next season, bye.
But Martin, to be fair, he was a stopgap.
He was in a wave. You know what I mean?
But
He
that's
was in
how
a
I
way.
feel the next
Yeah.
City manager will be.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to company, but there's a guy in between that just to get over the Pep bit. Take the Pep backlash, then we'll get into. Because I think listen, the club would hate to bring in company, and 18 months later it fails. Because you got to remember, company's
like
part of that
Lampard at
family.
Chelsea.
Yeah, we don't want to be
company's
that.
part of that family.
Yeah.
Company's got a statue outside the damn thing.
Yeah.
His family's
I
from
think-
Manchester. His wife's from Manchester. His kids are from Manchester. They don't want that to fail. They want that
From
to
what
be
I-
here you go.
Let me throw this
From
question
what
at
I've
you then.
heard,
Just give me a
Go on,
sec,
Magnus.
Spartacus.
go on, Megan.
Would you think that maybe Vinny or whoever it might be, if he comes in and let me try and rephrase this better so it's much easier to get it. If Pep's remaining years in his contract, months, years, whatever, if he's unsuccessful, say he's won nothing in the remainder of his time, would that make it easier, less pressure for Vinny or whoever else to come in and take his position?
Sure.
I don't think so.
No, I don't.
You don't.
think so.
If let's say, how many years does he have left? 2 year and a half.
Yeah.
So a year and a half is still kind of tough. But like if let's say he had 3 years and we don't win anything in the next 3 years, by the time the next manager after him comes in, it's like, okay, we've not been at the top table for a while. Now, again, it's still hard because it's still Pep Guardiola, and we know all the success that we have had. It's going to take a while to change that storyline, I guess.
Yeah. Go on, Spartacus, you were going to say.
I to answer your question, I don't think so. I think the fan base is now too impatient for success. So
Definitely.
even if you have a season without any titles, people are already going to ask for their heads, as some already did with Pep himself.
Yes.
It's not even
That happened last
January, and there's
season.
already
People were
people
asking for
asking.
Pep's head.
Well, can I know I'm not
crazy.
name dropping here, but I was having a chat with Lee Gunner the other day. And Lee asked me this, said he didn't win the league. Say you go, because Lee's got the thing, 2 years without a trophy, manager goes. You win a trophy, you win another 2 years, which is fine. That's people's philosophies. And he says, would you sack Pep if you went 2.5 years without winning out? I went, personally, I'll be honest, I think Pep would walk.
Yeah.
Before
Well,
he got sacked.
he said that he would leave if the players
Yeah.
stopped believing in him, and he just couldn't connect anymore. Because like in U.S. sports, right, they
Yes.
always have this conversation about needing a different voice, or you've kind of gone as far as you can with a particular group of players.
Yes.
They need to just hear something different. They've kind of gotten too accustomed to you and the way you do it, and they need something different to kind of keep that spark going. And
Well,
so
Pep's
there's
never gone 2 or 3 years, Tariq, without winning out.
yeah.
So
Well,
if Pep's
and
gone 2 or 3 years, I think he'd stand up on his own head and go,
yeah,
you
and be
know
like,
what?
hey, let's.
These
Well,
are, yeah,
this is
I
why
can't do
this
it no more.
season. That's why this season is so critical. Not critical because I don't think it's going to make a difference. But we kind of hang our hat on the fact that Pep hasn't gone consecutive seasons without winning a trophy, or without winning the league for that matter. So we kind of expect us to be in the conversation at the end of the season, but the play on the pitch doesn't say that we belong in that conversation at the end of the season. We haven't earned that yet. And so while it sounds good to say we're going to run down Arsenal and we're going to chase them down and they're going to bottle it and all that kind of stuff, there is nothing on the pitch that would say that that's actually going to happen. It is purely hopium and copium on my part to say, oh, we're going to be there. I don't know that we're going to be there because I haven't seen anything, the consistency that we need to be there at the end.
I do agree with you.
Do you know what I think they do though,
Tariq?
Tariq? Is it 2027 his contract?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is just, I've not heard anything because I have heard similar to what Coaster's heard of. At the moment, he wants to extend. But that doesn't mean he will.
I sent you the tweet that I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, no, things go. I think I mentioned that to you a few months ago. That was the signs because he got his smile and his rhythm, and there was a lot of happiness again. I think if he didn't win this year, I don't think he'd quit. I just think they'd let him go at the end of his contract. So what I think they'd do, because one thing the board won't do is panic. If he goes at the end, say he walks out in July, then you're in a panic mode. Because the one thing City will want to do is have the manager set 4, 5, 6 months pre-Pep going. I think Khaldoon and Pep have built that relationship where Pep and Khaldoon would sit together and go, this is now my last year. Whether I win, whether I lose, whatever, I'm going. So this is now your time. You've got 12 months to go and look for your guy. I think that would be, I think the respect is that big between the two. That time would be given. So I'm not saying, I'm saying to walk away to it. I think if he doesn't win anything this year, I think he'd go at 2027 anyway. I don't think they'll sack him. I think they'll just let him go to the end of his contract. But Pep would say, you've got 12 months to go and get your replacement.
So if we're saying that Vinny Company is maybe not the one we want right now, or maybe some people don't feel he's ready yet or whatever, so let's take his name off the table.
No, saying that, Tariq, I think it will be. If that is 2027, it will be company.
So that was going to be my point. So if 2027 comes around and Pep Guardiola is not extended or he's decided he's going to walk away, who does the management staff, who do they go get? What manager is out there? And of course, it changes year to year. And some people are that, we thought that Xabi Alonso was going to be all world. He's kind of struggling a little bit at Real Madrid. He's kind of struggling with some of the personalities, so on and so forth. Slot won the league, and now he can't win a game. So it's ups and downs and changes week to week, year to year, whatever. But who would be that person? Curtis, I think, asked this question earlier, but Ancelotti. Of course, he's about to be managing Brazil. I personally don't know that I would like Ancelotti, but
one of the prerequisites for whoever the next manager is, he's got to have the right character.
Yeah, Ancelotti doesn't fit City. His style doesn't fit City. His culture, his attitude, it's not City-esque. And I'm talking about the Khaldoon. Khaldoon is very big. You've heard me say this, Kelsey, before. He's very big on the family thing. We look after you. We care for you. If you come to City, you're looked after. It's not a business relationship. And I think that's why people got to remember, name someone who hasn't stayed at City for a damn long period of time. Players, coaches, staff. They all seem to go, well, that was his agent's fault. And he's doing the same thing at Atletico, by the way.
Yeah.
So you just tell me I'm a mercenary without
I gotta
telling
go,
me
guys. Thanks for having me on, Tariq.
Hey, appreciate you jumping on. You want to share your channel where you stream and any contacts or whatever?
Yeah, I stream on True City Fan TV. That's Patrick's channel. I'm sure a lot of people probably know it because it's been part of the city YouTube for quite a while. Pat's busy right now, so he's kind of giving me the keys to the channel, and I know we're doing a watch along on Saturday, but I have a feeling there's going to be a ranting stream tomorrow, so look out for that.
I'll give that a miss. I'll give that a miss.
I'll join.
I'll give that a miss. I'll give that one a miss. It'll turn into World War 6, 7, and 8.
I know Patrick is not happy. He's messaging me. He's been in the hospital all day, and he'd been on the bus all day. Sorry, he's been on the bus all day, and he's not.
If it's anything like a space I was in earlier.
Like, Patrick wants to rant tomorrow. So
yeah. Well, certainly appreciate you jumping on. You're always welcome. Thank you so much. And
I'll see a couple of you tomorrow on the USA stream. I'll be nicer on that one. I promise.
Get it all out now, so we'll be good tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, hang on. You told me you can't make tomorrow.
We'll get Hamza.
Well, everyone's ditching me for Thanksgiving here. No, it's like it's some important holiday or something.
I mean, it's only the best food in the world. Come on, what are we talking about here? So
come on, eating a turkey. Actually, I don't mind.
Actually, I can't be on tomorrow, not because it's Thanksgiving, but because I got to get my haircut before Thanksgiving. See ya. I got to get my haircut before Thanksgiving.
You're ditching me out for a haircut.
Well, we got to schedule. I got to book an appointment and all these things I got to do to be able to get in there, right? And so it's like either you go before Thanksgiving, and so I'm going at 6:30, which is normally not my time. Normally I go on Thursdays. I have my whole week, everything set up. It works out great. Thanksgiving threw it off, and so I don't know when I'm going to get done with the haircut. And
Magnus, you're stepping up. Magnus, you're stepping up instead of Tariq.
There you go.
Right,
make it happen.
Substitution.
Make it happen.
Am I getting the same rate?
Yeah, you get exact. As a matter of fact, you can take whatever I get, multiply it by 10. You got it.
And you still get 0.
Exactly. But no, it's a good time.
You still don't end up with StreamYard.
Yeah, still can't afford. StreamYard is expensive, man. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, tell me.
I'm speaking on something I don't know, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, but it's do I want company? No. Do I think it will be company? Yes. Because my problem today, I don't know who else it can be.
Well, this is my question. Who else is out there? Especially because I think at this point, City has said that we have a defined style of play. Yes, it was built around the way that Pep Guardiola plays. It was we were kind of hinting in that direction with, not really with Mancini, but with Pellegrini. We were kind of moving in this direction, but with Pep came in, this is how we play. It is locked in. I don't know that we want to change that just for any Tom, Dick, and Harry manager that comes in off the street. I just don't think that happens. And so we need to find someone that's going to fit within our system and come in and play the way that we want to play.
And don't forget as well that the City board have already had dealings with a character like Mancini, and they don't want a repeat of that.
And
so they'll want to go back to, like you say, a bit more of a family-orientated kind of person who is established already. And, I think the fans, once the fans are informed that Pep's only got a certain amount of time left and he's made his decision, he's never going to change it, I think the clamour from the fans will be for Vinny, that it might put that much pressure on the club to go for him. It's going to be an interesting time. It's going to happen at some point.
So I think is it fair to say most of us would take Enrique if we could get him out of PSG? I think they're having some issues. So would we take him?
I wouldn't
him. Say no.
I like him. Yeah.
I think Donnarumma would say no.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
I think Donnarumma would say a big fat no on that one.
I was gonna ignore this, but he so gracious to put the comment in the chat. I want to encourage that. So thank you, Curtis. Even if I completely, of course he is. But you know what? I appreciate the chat. One day we're gonna be monetize, and you're gonna help me get to StreamYard. But until then, just keep it coming, brother.
Does our next manager have to be bald?
Well, it's not working out for
If you
Sly.
believe Alan, he's got to be Spanish. Alan's not after baldness; he just wants Spanish.
Right, okay.
Because apparently we have a the thing is, Cheek, again, back to the honor of this is a cold pair of eyes.
I thought Alan was all rule Britannia. Why is he going into Spanish?
That's a good point.
Oh, because I just
no.
think...
No, he's not going to... I think Alan doesn't want Eddie Howe.
Well, I won't tell you what Alan called Pep tonight. I'll tell you that off air. But my word, did he call him some things tonight?
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you. He called him a "see you next Tuesday" on 6 occasions. I was
on 6 occasions. Wow,
that's a bit OTT there, mate. Calm down a bit.
Wow. Okay, so here's some here's some real options. Nagelsmann needs a new job in August because the World Cup, he's through with Germany after the World Cup. No? Anybody saying yes there? Curtis said I think Nagelsmann as well, Curtis. But here's one that I think is interesting and we should consider. A potential under the radar pick. Heard good things about Cesc Fabregas at Como. So he's doing well, but he's less experienced than even Vinny is. So on one hand, yeah, but on the other hand, if we're not willing to bring Vinny, I don't know we can bring this guy.
Well, I've got a theory about him that if Arteta doesn't pull it off this year,
ooh, I see where you're going with this.
Was it you, Magnus, who wanted Cesc, or was it Ed? One of the two of you was a bit sweet on Cesc.
No, not me. I don't.
It must have been Ed.
I'll
ask Ed tomorrow.
Football, to be honest. But it must be Ed because I don't watch enough foreign football. But
someone was really sweet on Cesc.
I think if Arteta can't make it this season, especially considering the position that they're in now, if they don't win the league, I think that the Arsenal board might just say, you know what? Well, that doesn't mean
all right.
We should. Can
I chuck your wild card?
Yeah, go on for it.
You ready, Tariq?
I'm ready. Who you got? What's the name?
Not my cup of tea. I'm a no on this guy. But the question will come up, especially if he wins the league this year.
Arteta?
Would you do Arteta?
Nope.
I do not like Arteta. I don't care if he wins the league or whatever. I don't want him. Of course, if the club decides to go get him, I'm not going to stop supporting my club. So it is what it is. But do I want him? No. Keep him away.
I like a manager. I like a manager that takes responsibility. Personally, I don't think Arteta's a manager that takes responsibility.
Yeah,
There's only one manager in my eyes that I want to see do well for us, and it's the man in charge. That's my personal preference. I want to see him do well, Pep, and stay and sign on. But like we said, the conversation is to be had. So Martin,
Michelle?
Sorry.
Anyone want Michelle?
Girona? No.
Don't think so.
I'm chucking the names that have been mentioned
to be fair, I was going to say, to be fair, when they were winning, his name came up a lot. But I will ask the question.
So did Amarim's. That was real, Tariq, by the way. They were looking at Amarim at the time. Obviously not now.
Yeah.
I know I got the Mickey ripped out of me for that.
You did.
There was genuine conversations on Amarim, by the way, when they thought Pep wasn't going to re-sign.
So Martin, was it 98% as well?
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Wow.
I'm never going to get rid of that, am I? I'm never losing that, am I?
No,
not with me. No, not with me.
So my thing about this for Michelle, right? Like I just said, he was the kind of the cup of tea or the name on everybody's lips when he was winning with Girona.
Yes.
But then they fell off, or he's fallen off. He's not. Hopefully they stay up, but he's not at that same level again. Does that look similar to what Vinny Company did with he did well with Burnley, got them promoted, and then crashed and
Great
burned,
analogy.
right?
Great
and
analogy.
then, but because he was able to parlay that into the Bayern job, yes, he failed in the most recent opportunity, but then he went to Bayern and is killing it. Is there something to be said for Michel, even if he's not doing well this season? If given the right resources, given the right players, could he make that step up? I don't know, but just a question.
I don't know.
I think there'd be a meltdown with Michel.
It would absolutely be him because again, the name is not big enough. So at least for Vinny Company, he was a player that everybody knew and respected, so his name carried weight. And
he's got the buy-in. He's got the buy-in thing behind him.
Yeah,
I think if Michel was at Madrid, different. Yeah.
So I think that has a big part to play in it.
Curtis,
Simeone, anyone?
Good names in the chat.
Or I would take Simeone.
So let's see. There's De Zerbi. Areola. Anybody going for Areola?
No. Again, I think, is that not the Premier League version of Michel?
Potentially.
Yeah, possibly. Marco Silva.
What about Glasner?
I think I saw that earlier. Where did it go?
He's a manager that knows how to win games. I rate him. I do.
Is that too big a jump though? I'm just about the jump.
Yeah.
I think it
is. Do you know what? Do you know when I say bigger jump? I always remember David Moyes at Everton. Fantastic job at Everton, and he's recreating it now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got the United job, it was like too big a jump. So like Thomas Frank now from Brentford, decent job, gone to Tottenham, and he seems to be struggling in the bigger back. Not every back. This is going to sound so pompous. Not every manager can do it in the bright lights.
Yeah.
Some managers are better. This is gonna sound arrogant.
I know what you're gonna say.
Really bad. But not every manager can do it under the lights. Yeah. And when I mean the lights, I'm talking champions. There's a difference being at Bournemouth, Palace, with respect.
Yeah.
Manchester City is in the Madrid, the Bayern Munich levels.
Expectations.
Yeah, and not. Yeah, it's weird because I feel like we're in such a precarious position, but also a very good position. And I feel like either side can tip the balance one way. Because you know this. Let's go back 2 weeks, Tariq. We were 1-6 out of 7, flying high. Yep. Things had changed. Everything was wonderful. We were title challengers, title favourites. Everyone was cock-a-hoot. 2 defeats on the bounce, and now everyone's back into Pep Guardiola out again.
Yeah.
But if City beat Leeds, Fulham, and Sunderland, it'll all go back the other way again. We've turned it around with the mentality monsters.
My manager.
And this is the problem with this. I said this earlier on Blue Pill, Red Pill. I feel like this season is like no other season ever. I feel like the title's won and lost week in, week out. And then the next week you lose it. And then everything's flip-flopping all over the show, week in, week out.
1 week people think we can win the title, the next we're back to a Project FC and all this stuff.
It's like tonight. Tonight was diabolical, and I've had me rant and everything else, but we beat Bodo Glimt and we beat Galatasaray. We're still finishing in the top 8 and we're fine and we're qualified.
Are they both away fixtures?
Bodo Glint's away, Galatasaray's at home.
Okay. Yeah, thankfully.
And that's the weird thing, because we did say we could lose 2 games in this. Because I remember you did a show with LB, didn't you, Tariq? And there was that talk of, as long as you win, 6 out of the 8 or 5 out of the 8, you can lose 2. We just didn't think Leverkusen at home was one of them.
Yeah, I've heard people say that and they're gonna do that math, but there's no guarantees, right? We think it'll work, but to me, this is why I was so frustrated with tonight, because it's like we had been on a winning streak. We got upset in that last match, so we want to come back and get back on winning terms. So we have that good momentum, that good feeling around the club. And I feel like tonight was a missed opportunity. We just kind of like didn't take it seriously. We should have gone out there, put them away early, rest players in towards the end of the match, and be in a much better position. But I don't know, this is just a little disappointing. That's why it was frustrating. And to be fair, we're talking about Pep, wanting him to stay and wanting him to extend. And then, if he doesn't, who's going to look? But I have to say, in my opinion, tonight is a Pep issue. The players, did they perform? Could they have done better? Sure. But tonight is about Pep. And, as much as, talking about being a happy clapper or all those things, but I cannot get away from the fact that this is on Pep. He has to own this tonight.
He did take responsibility in the press after as well. He said it was on him.
No, I agree. But see, the reason I'm a bit different is, like someone put it, there was still nine of those players tonight were internationals.
Spot on.
Yeah.
And Martin, I'm going to say something as well. With the chances that Haaland got, Marmoush got, Reinders got, and there was another big chance.
See, I disagree. I think we had better chances Saturday than we did.
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, no. I think we had better chances, but the chances that we had today, Haaland had a 1-on-1 where he tried to go around the keeper and just failed miserably. Reinders had a shot.
No, but that's the only clear one for me tonight. I think the others were half chances.
I think there was
Saturday against Newcastle, they were big chances.
Martin, I think there was
tonight. I think was half chances.
I think there was one for Marmoush that he was inside the box, the penalty box, from a corner that he just scuffed it. He didn't get contact with it. It went under his foot. Yeah, that one. That's a clear-cut chance as well. The one for Riders where he drives through the team and gets inside the box and get a clean shot with two players ahead of him, but still got the whole goal to aim at. That's also a big chance for me.
Yeah.
I think we had the chances to win.
So difficult.
But fuck me, like I think those players were bad today, and I think it wasn't bad for changing too much, but I also think it was as much on the players that were on the pitch. I think some of them just didn't show the desire that we needed them.
Well, I'm gonna jump now, but I'm just gonna leave on my happy clappy bit because I have to do my happy clappy before I go.
We're actually I'm gonna shut it down. I think once we're done here because we're already 2 hours and 24 minutes in. So go ahead, Martin.
If you think about it, nobody expected us to beat Napoli at home, if you remember.
Me included.
A lot of people had us getting beat by at the time, if you remember. We were going
that was the
that
3 fixture run, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the Napoli United. United Napoli Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I just think, as much as tonight is poor, I don't think it's a death nail. I still think we'll qualify in the top 8. But what tonight has got to show for me is that can never happen again this season.
I think it's a
Pep
death
to go
nail for
home
some
tonight
players.
and go. No, I agree with that. I mean for Pep. Pep has to go home tonight and go, right, I am never doing that again.
Yeah,
I think he's
that doesn't happen again. I'm not making that many changes ever again. And I won't allow, because I think tonight he got too sentimental. I think he gave others an opportunity that was probably final opportunity for some.
Yeah.
And again, I think he got his answer. Because I've never seen Pep make that many changes at halftime in a long time.
That's a statement, the halftime.
So I think that was, you're done. And like you said, Pep came out afterwards and went, that was on me. I'm sorry. And that's where Pep can never do that again. I don't want to see that again. That was too many changes. It wasn't a Carabao Cup game. It wasn't a friendly. That was a Champions League game. You paid no respect to Leverkusen. You paid no respect to the competition. And more important, which upset me, you paid no respect to those paying fans tonight in that freezing cold stadium. And I'm sorry, this is where I'm not the happy clapper. They got what they deserved tonight. They got booed off. And I'm not an advocate of booing players off. But tonight, they deserve that booing off because that was not on tonight. People have spent 50 quid a piece in -4 for that. That's not acceptable.
No,
18
it's
months
not.
ago,
As-
we won this competition. Nah, don't do that again. Don't be so arrogant and cocky that you think you can put a reserve team out against Leverkusen.
Like Tariq said, that should have been a game that we went into after the
Okay,
Newcastle
actually,
game, which we were unfortunate in, and we know we should have got a result and took the game by the scruff of the neck and got our confidence back.
Yeah.
It was a complete.
That was
upset.
something
Now,
you do against Galatasaray on match day 8 when you qualified, and you want to
exactly.
give some players a go. You don't do it halfway through the qualifying period.
The most puzzling thing is that it's not like we have Liverpool away at the weekend. With all due respect, we have Leeds
yeah.
at home.
We're still searching for
Let's not
confidence
do
now.
that.
Still
Whoa,
searching
these
for our
last
form
2
back
games
after
have
these
shown
last-
us we can't play that game.
Tonight was the embodiment of that kind of that mindset, and I'm with you because I probably would feel the same way. But I feel like that's how Pep treated tonight's game. Oh, it's just Leverkusen. We can go, but I'm with you. We should absolutely expect to go to we go to Leeds to play Leeds.
No, we're at home.
We're at home. Play Leeds and get all 3 points. Absolutely should expect to get 3 points. Again, it may not look pretty, but we should absolutely be expecting 3 points in this match. If we can't get
I'll make it bigger for you, Tariq. Next week is 9 out of 9. If you want to win this title now, it's a 9 out of 9 week. And Magnus has never heard me be this direct. Magnus is normally, I'm the happy clappy and here we go, you know me. Next week is 9 out of 9.
Okay.
If you still want this title and you want to apologise to everyone, I want to see a mindset of last year is not last year, because this is the worry now. 2 defeats on the bounce. This is how we ended up in this road last year. This is how Liverpool have ended up in their road. Oh, we're too good, we'll turn it around. Get back to basics, and from tomorrow morning, they should be in a meeting. That stops.
Well, what's everyone going to do when they find out that Calvin Phillips is going to start the game against Leeds?
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end the stream. I really appreciate each and every one of you that have been in the chat all night long, all the comments. Thank you so much to everyone that has jumped on screen, on the mic, and has been part of the dialogue and the conversation and helped it go. Appreciate you so very much. I would say, Martin, do you want to shout out your channel? But most of these people probably know me from your channel. So, but do it anyway. We got to stream tomorrow night, even if I'm not there.
Mancunian Way Thanksgiving stream. The Stateside Blues. We're going to have a whinge and a moan.
Thanksgiving.
Well, no, it's Thanksgiving Eve. It's not quite Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving Eve. If I don't see anyone who's from stateside, have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great time. Enjoy all your food. Yeah, but 11 p.m. tomorrow, we're back. I apologise, I've been off. I've been away the last few days. Things back to normal. Thursday night chat and all the good stuff. Yeah, so come and join us. Big up Tariq and everyone here. And Magnus, I am being serious. If you want to join us, you are more than welcome.
Oh, cheers. Thanks very much, man. Yeah,
I will definitely be in the chat for sure. Again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. However you choose
smash those likes for Tariq.
Yeah. However you choose to celebrate, wherever you are with all your friends, family, loved ones, have a great time. Again, to Martin's point, do me a favor. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I think we were on 71 subscribers. So just trying to make that push to get to 100. We'll keep trying to build from there. But, not perfect at this, still learning this. This is like week 6 of this. So 6 weeks of this. Some of you have been here with me the whole time, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. But we'll continue to keep doing this as long as you keep showing up and showing out. So thank you so much. Appreciate each and every one of you.
Thanks for having me.
Well done, boss.
Cheers, Tarek. It was good to come on and finally.
We just needed Lewis now, innit?